Yes. Let's see how long I can get away with using these clickbait stream titles. Listen, as long as I put a question mark at the end of each statement, it's speculative. It's not listen, okay, you'll see you'll see the extent of the clickbait, okay? I hope you guys are doing good today. Happy Saturday. No, stream's not over. I'm sorry. Sometimes I forget to remove the end screen. I'm sorry. Okay, first my disclaimer. I'm not a technology, IT, or cybersecurity expert. I like to read about and discuss tech topics for fun. And this stream is not intended to cover the biggest or most important tech topics, just what I find interesting. I really need to get better at bookmarking everything that I see, because I feel like I saw so much tech stuff this week, and I must have not bookmarked any of it, because when I went through my bookmarks, I only had like 2 or 3 things in there. I was like, I swear I saw more, but I don't know. Maybe I'll remember things as they come up. But here's what I have slides for today. First of all, OpenAI is running a losing race against like every other AI company, okay? Gemini mogged them, Claude mogged them, DeepSeek mogged them. Like, I just closed down at this point, okay? we talked about Anthropic's Claude mythos and how it was like a whole big hoopla about the fact that it discovered like a bajillion vulnerabilities in 1 week, and how like they're only releasing it to specific people because it's like so fucking dangerous and it can hack the entire world. Oh my goodness! 45 stream streak, good on! Thank you so much! It's amazing! Yippee! Also, what a cute emote combination. Am I flying? Aw. Thank you. Let the AI bubble burst, I know, right? Yeah. But yeah, so last week Claude made this whole hoopla, and now I'm not saying that Mythos is really everything they're saying it is, but it did stir up the cyber world, I suppose, last week with all of its claims about how it could autonomously develop exploits and all that stuff. So right afterward, which is something that I've seen OpenAI do frequently, where one company will release like something amazing, and then OpenAI will release like a shittier, worse, rushed version of the same thing afterward, and then be like, actually, ours is better. So they released GPT 5.4 Cyber to members of its Trusted Access for Cyber program, which is something that it has already had. Like, the Trusted Access for Cyber program is not actually new. It's been around for like, I don't know, a month or two, I think. But anyway, so they released this. So this is basically, it's GPT 5.4, but they made it less likely to refuse cyber security related requests. So the idea is that it'll be more open to like analyzing malware code and stuff like that than the normal GPT 5.4, so that people who work in cybersecurity can use it for like offensive security or defensive security. Whatever. And yes, it's completely a coincidence, certainly, that they released this right after Anthropic released their Mythos thing. Surely a complete coincidence. Also, the fact that they took a jab. Not a direct jab, but like a pretty obvious jab at Anthropic in the blog post, because basically they have this Trusted Access for Cyber, and so this is where basically you just need to verify your identity and like prove that you're a real person who like works in cybersecurity, I guess, in order to access these models or certain models, model capabilities. And I guess they're making it like a tiered. They didn't explain. I hate how vague these companies are sometimes, especially OpenAI is like one of the less open companies. In fact, Anthropic is probably the most open company, although a lot of what they publish is questionable. But hi Souffle, hi. They didn't really explain the difference between the tiers, or like how many tiers there are, or like what. They just basically were like, yeah, we're gonna make it like, only the super advanced, super verified people can use GPT 5.4 Cyber because it's so powerful. But which is basically the same thing Glasswing's doing, except I guess OpenAI is saying like, well, we're using common sense methods and trust signals to be able to verify more people so that more people can use it. Unlike some companies that just want to restrict it to the biggest companies, and saying that only the biggest can defend themselves, which was an obvious jab at Project Glasswing. Which Project Glasswing, if you missed last week's tech chat, or if you haven't heard of this, Battle of the Buzzword. I don't know if it can. JKater, hi JKater, hi. So if you missed what Project Glasswing is, so Anthropic released its model Mythos last week, that it said is like this super powerful model that can like hack things amazingly, and that they're only releasing it to a very select group. Hi. To a very select group. Hi Yasame. Hi. How you guys doing? But they're only releasing it to a very select group of 40 companies, which is about like a dozen really, really big companies. So like Microsoft, Google, stuff like that. And then like along with some critical infrastructure companies. So like they didn't specify, but I'm guessing probably like, I don't know, water systems, energy systems, oil and gas, whatever, critical infrastructure stuff. So maybe healthcare. So it's only about 40 companies that are getting access to Claude Mythos. And so basically OpenAI is trying to say like, well, we're gonna release it to more people because we're gonna use quote unquote trust signals and identity verification to figure out who you are or whatever. Which like, I guess, okay. Now the thing about this that makes this like, honestly, it's like a weak wet fart, is that like, so they did release some figures about Codex security, which is, I think Codex security is basically kind of like their version of Claude Code, and then I'm assuming it runs like GPT 5.4 or whatever the latest model is. It just allows it to access tools and stuff in the same way that Claude Codes allows Claude to access tools. Yeah, only load-bearing companies get this is basically what Anthropic said. And so they did say, so when they first released Codex security, they said that it had found like 10,000 vulnerabilities or something, but they weren't all verified, or like they weren't all fixed. Like they just said that, but there wasn't like verified proof of all 10,000. Now they're saying that it has fixed 3,000 vulnerabilities that like are officially like patched and fixed. So that's kind of like semi-verifiable if you want to take the time to go out and you know, look for all these. They named some of them, but wait, so none of those big companies were interested in OpenAI's offering is what they're saying. Yeah, maybe, Jay. Now, to be fair, I do think that Anthropic is like quote unquote donating. I'll use the word investing. They're investing like a certain amount of millions of dollars of Claude credits or whatever for these companies to use it. So I don't know. It's not clear whether these companies are paying Anthropic or Anthropic's paying the companies or what's happening. Hi, Kex. Hi. Hello. Thank you for stopping by. I hope your streak is going well. This isn't about cyber sex. No. Oh, that would be great. But I did hear that OpenAI was gonna release a naughty model, but then they stopped because they realized that they're already like in hot water with in terms of like situations, certain situations, and that would probably only make things worse by releasing a naughty model. So, but anyways, yeah. So, in terms of Codex security, so they claim that it has helped fix 3,000 high and critical vulnerabilities, and that's pretty much all they said. So Anthropic, by contrast, Anthropic did like go into like a lot of detail about how, because okay, the thing about Anthropic, I feel like OpenAI clearly and probably accurately sees ChatGPT as just like a product, a system, which is accurate. I'm not saying that that's a bad way to think of it, but they clearly see it as like a product, a system. Whereas I feel like Anthropic sees Claude as a person, which I think is kind of stupid, but it definitely makes for more interesting reads when they write about it. So I didn't realize till like a minute ago. Yeah. I think we're old enough to remember when cybering meant cyber sex. But anyways, hi Blum Blum, hi. So Anthropic, when they released this Mythos thing, they did like a whole big breakdown of how Claude thinks and how it changed these vulnerabilities and gave like very specific examples of vulnerabilities. Very specific examples of vulnerabilities that it found and how it went into like, you know, looking at the code, and also like they get like very specific on their blog posts and stuff. Whereas ChatGPT, OpenAI is just like, yeah, it found vulnerabilities. Trust us, bro. Like they don't really give any information about like what kind of vulnerability, or like, they gave like a little bit of information back when they first announced Codex security. They gave some information, but like, in terms of, you know, the thing that made Mythos sound so cool, I guess, or sound so crazy, was the you know, amount of detail that they gave about what it can do. Whereas OpenAI is just like, we're fucking OpenAI, trust us, our cyber thing is amazing. Vulnerabilities, thumbs up, yeah, exactly. 200 ponies. I don't know American Sign Language. Age, no. Sex, yes. Location, somewhere in the cosmos. Sorry, that person thing makes a lot of sense considering a lot of their stances. Sorry, I don't know if I'm misreading what you're saying. Are you talking about Persona? Persona's a company. I don't know. Is Persona the one that Discord's using? I don't remember. I don't remember if Persona was wrapped up in all the age verification controversy. They probably are though, because the Persona's whole thing is like verifying people's identities. So yeah, if you wanna use this ChatGPT 5.4 cyber thing, you kind of like, I guess you verify your identity through Persona. I don't know exactly how they determine if you work in cybersecurity. I went to see if I could start the verification process, and then it just like, the first thing it does is ask for an ID, so I wasn't gonna give them my ID, but, so I don't know if there's like extra steps to prove that you work in cybersecurity, but it's very vague. What there, I found tons of vulnerabilities. Oh, you wouldn't know that they go to a different school? It would have been that one. That's a good one. Thank you, Amadeus. Hi, Amadeus. Hi. OpenAI is for they, them. Claude is for himself. Wait, what? 56 female. The closest Wendy's. Guaranteed 30s. Most likely. Bottom right. I mean. Anyway. Wait, a random aside about ASL. I remember when I was a young robo, they had before Omegle they had chat roulette. And I remember I was using chat roulette. I didn't have my video on though. And I thought like typing ASL was just like what you were supposed to do. I was like so young. I thought ASL was like what you were supposed to do, so I typed like ASL and the person like crashed out on me. They were like, oh, ASL, real original, get a job. I was like, ooh, and then I just exited out because I felt sad. Anyways, yeah, chat roulette. They probably did. That was like the second person I connected to. I didn't see any penises, luckily. Okay, I didn't see any penises. I saw like one person my age, and then the second person crashed out on me, and then I just left. Anyways, okay. So where was I? Oh yeah. So anyway, this is. Oh my gosh. As you can tell, they're doing some yard work outside. I'm assuming you can hear that. They're, I'm seeing how loud that is on my thing. Yeah, they're doing some yard work outside. Sorry. Hi, Mango. Hi. How you doing, Mango? Hi. I would point my camera at my sleeping cat and just listen to everyone go, aww. Yeah, unfortunately, guys, I can't force them to stop doing yard work. It's not my property. The landlord is having them do that, so. But anyways, I'll try to talk loud like I normally do. But yeah, so that's OpenAI's quote-unquote response to Mythos, I suppose. Kind of lame. We'll see if they release any. We'll see if they release any better, information, more specific information about what they're actually doing with security and stuff. I would genuinely be interested to see if they could do that, because so far Google has released detailed information about how their Gemini finds vulnerabilities. Anthropic has released detailed information about how they find vulnerabilities. OpenAI did back when they were like, so what they have is Codex Security. I think it used to be called Aardvark, or like Aardvark's like part of it. So they did used to release a little more, but as of recently, I haven't seen any in-depth information. Excuse me, I'm a VTuber. You're being too loud. The concept of trying to explain that I'm a VTuber to anybody outside of the internet. Establish dominance by going out and making the yard worse. Excuse me, I'm VTubing. No, it's okay, it's okay. They're just doing their job, you guys, okay? Everybody's gotta make some money. All right, so that is, also, I liked this tweet by VX Underground. Oh yeah, you're a hacker? Prove it. Send a stool sample and a copy of your birth certificate to Sam Altman. All right. But speaking of verification via Persona, Anthropic is adding, quietly rolled out identity verification. Okay, yes, my stream title is a little bit clickbait. It's not technically age verification, but it kind of is, because apparently you have to be 18 plus to use Anthropic, or at least to use it in certain ways, because one of the things that they noted that you could be banned for if your identity verification, like, you know, if you go through the identity verification, you get banned. They said one of the reasons could be being under 18. So it's almost kind of age verification. Yes, it's a little bit clickbait. Okay, I admit I do a little clickbait in the tech chat titles. Okay, but okay, I put a question mark, so it's not a lie. It's a question. Okay, it's just a question. But anyway, but this is really weird. This is really weird because click. No. Thank you for the clicks. But anyways, so Anthropic randomly last week decided to start rolling out identity verification, as in give me your government ID and your face. For quote, this is the only information they gave, as far as I could find. Okay, quote, a few use cases, and quote, to prevent abuse, enforce our usage policies, and comply with legal obligations. The comply with legal obligations to me sounds potentially like age verification. I can't say that for sure. It sounds maybe like age verification, and also maybe like if like they think someone's, if they get a subpoena or something. That's the only other thing I can think of. Claude's kind of pricey. Why the fuck would paying for their shit not be enough? Yeah, I mean, I don't know. But now they're not doing this to like it's not like every single person who uses Claude needs to hand it over. But from what it sounds like, they can just randomly start carding. Like they can randomly card you. Like you're just using Claude, you're like doing your normal, erotic RP session, and then suddenly you get carded. Like what the fuck? But yeah, they didn't. I was really confused because they were very vague about like when and why this would happen to you. Like why would you randomly get carded? But yeah, apparently you could suddenly get prompted to hand over your government ID. And they are using Persona for this. They did confirm that they were using Persona for this, because they said the identity verification stuff only goes to Persona. All of the ones that use Persona or any of these things say this, that your government ID and stuff only goes to Persona, and we don't use it for training. It's perfectly safe, and there definitely won't be a breach. I don't know, but this is, a lot of people are really confused and concerned about this, because reportedly, at least according to Decrypt and some other people, were saying that this is Anthropic's the only major AI company. I put first AI company. I should put major AI company, because who knows what random people are doing. I'll put reportedly the first major AI company to do this for regular people, obviously not counting cybersecurity, the cybersecurity stuff we just discussed. Monitoring AI, watching everything you do, guessing at your age. When you can move to continue your slow burn corruption Claude RP, and it springs a verification window asking for your full legal name. Thank you for the hydration pack. Thank you. Anyways. So yeah, I am thinking of, if I do want to pay for an AI again, which I'm not sure I do in my life anymore, but if I did, I was thinking of switching to Claude, but I don't know how I feel about this identity verification thing. I mean, I guess it would depend on what I would want to use it for, if I would want to use it for work, for personal reasons, whatever. The first not minor AI company to be a no minors. Technically, I think Character AI is no minor, or I think Character AI, if you're a minor, you can only do certain things on there. You can't just talk to anybody anymore. This really is just that Rixie YouTube short of asking for your personal information. Yeah. Trust me, you guys. You can show me your government ID. I'll keep it safe. I'll keep it safe in my cleavage. In my panties. I'm gonna put your passport in my panty. Anyways. So, I don't know how much the yard work people... They probably can't hear me over the weed whacker, but... But yeah, we'll see if this escalates. We'll see if this escalates to something weird like age verification, or asking everybody to do this. But as of now, my guess here is that if somebody starts to do things that seem illegal, don't click that. Don't click that. I don't know what that. Wait, I don't know if I should delete that just for safety. I don't know, whatever. People have done that before and I've never bothered, so whatever. Click at your own risk. Anyways. Yeah, anytime you put anything that looks like a URL, it'll just format it as a hyperlink. But my guess is that if somebody starts to say things they think might be illegal, this is when they're gonna do this. No, it's fine. If it was Caesar, you'd click it. There's nothing you could say or do that would make a person who does maintenance work for rental property. But yeah, I guess so. But yeah, so my guess is like if you're typing like, you know, hi, where can I buy, you know, a high capacity magazine gun and also where's the nearest school? Like if you start typing stuff like that, I'm guessing that's probably what the few use cases is, where it'll like then ask you for your identity to like A, stop you, and B. J-Gator! Wait, is that the maximum characters for a high level domain or whatever it's called? I never thought about that. Your mom will die today. Oh no. Anyways, but yeah, my guess is if you like I said, like if you put something that seems like it's gonna be illegal or misusing it, they're gonna throw that in front of you, A, to stop you, and B, if you are stupid enough to put your ID in at that point, to identify you so you can report you to police or something. Stop! Okay. All right, let's cool it. Let's cool it with the random links now. Hey, J-Gator! No! Okay, no more dead mobs. Ooh. Are we doomed because of Claude Mythos or not? I don't think we're doomed. Well, I'll talk a little bit about how we may be doomed, but I don't think we're doomed. But I think depending on how true its claims are, depending on how true Anthropic's claims are, I think definitely it could be an issue in some ways. I definitely think that it's always gonna be like way overhyped than it really is. But I do think if we can verify that it actually did the things, which I think Anthropic's really trying really hard to prove it, like without you guys, everybody hug and kiss each other, okay? Yeah, you guys are so sweet. But anyways, so what was I saying? Oh yeah, I feel like Anthropic's trying really hard to kind of like prove itself. Obviously they can't give a step-by-step like you know, exploit for all of these vulnerabilities like right away, but eventually they might, like once they're like fixed and stuff. And you know, how can you really prove that Claude's the one that figured it out versus the person? I mean, I think it would be a lot for them to have human beings find 1,000 vulnerabilities and claim Claude did it. Like, I think there's definitely probably some capability there. Is Claude Mythos a real thing? It's a real thing. In terms of how powerful it really is, that is the question. So if you missed when I talked about Claude Mythos last week, or if you've never heard of Claude Mythos, that is their latest model. Now they just released Opus like the other day. I don't really care that much, which is just a better version of Opus. But Mythos is like, is it called? Yes, it's called Mythos. It's really called Mythos. It is. Yes, it is called Mythos. Technically, it's called Mythos Preview because it's like not like. Because it's in preview, it's not like a full version, but it is called Claude Mythos, and they basically claim that it can autonomously develop exploits for vulnerabilities, which is something that I'm not sure if any other AI company has claimed this, but the thing with the AIs, they've definitely can discover vulnerabilities. That's something that a lot of companies have demonstrated, that they can find vulnerabilities. But in terms of developing exploits, most AIs struggle to develop their own exploits. And so basically Anthropic is saying ours can actually develop exploits. So there's a difference between finding a vulnerability and then knowing how to exploit it. So that's kind of like where the difference comes in. And so the reason that's a big deal is because like not every vulnerability is really exploitable. Like you can find a vulnerability, but it could actually be like, the only way to exploit it is if you like have the person's computer right in front of you and you have their password already. So in terms of being able to develop an exploit and chain exploits together, stuff like that, that's like what it's considered to be more advanced with Mythos, allegedly. Although I don't think Anthropic's like 100% like talking out of their ass, because eventually they're gonna get caught, you know? But they just might be sensationalizing it a little bit more. Oh, hi Isadu, dropping by for a minute. Okay, thank you so much for stopping by. Oh, you're at work today for an event? I hope that the event's at least a little fun. Well, thank you so much for stopping by. It was good to see you, Isadu. Thank you. But yeah, so I forget what I was talking about exactly, but either way, it'll be interesting to see, you know, if Claude gets a lot of backlash for this identity thing, and if they're gonna roll it out more, or if it's really just gonna be for very specific cases. All right, now, speaking of OpenAI again, apparently OpenAI was the only company in the world that actually downloaded the Axios package. Now, somebody was explaining, oh, who was it that explained this last week? I'm gonna feel bad if I forget who it was. Yeah, I took this picture from, I just searched Sam Altman shrugging, and I found this photo from Fortune, so shout out to Fortune for the photo. Sorry, Omatheria says, I have a completely unfounded theory that most of these vulnerabilities are backdoors that were already documented by the NSA, FBI, whoever, and that documentation just somehow ended up in Anthropic's training data. Honestly, that's not a terrible theory, honestly. Now, I think that theory definitely has like a decent amount of weight, because I do think a lot of the achievements, discoveries, etc. of AI could probably be traced back to something in its training data that's like something that it didn't piece together itself, something that was already there. You know what I mean? That would make sense. And until we figure out like how to actually figure out how AI, you know, comes up with the things that it comes up with, I'm not sure if we'll be able to know for sure. But but honestly, that's not a bad theory of what there is. Rixie, I'm on the university. I'm drinking strawberry juice that the students bought me. I'm a little worried because I was lecturing them. Caesar! So you're saying your students who you just scolded just gave you some strawberry juice out of nowhere, and now you're drinking it? Oh no! I hope you're okay, Caesar. Yeah, your students showed up. Please just let this be NSA backdoors that they're not actually supposed to report on. Oh my goodness. I hope. All right, give us a report later, Caesar. Let us know if you're tasting colors, okay? Oh no! I think if I die, I proclaim you furry queen. Caesar, are you feeling? How many fingers am I holding away? Okay, you can stay safe out there, all right? All right, so wait, let's talk about this Axios thing. So a couple of weeks ago, I talked about the Axios supply chain attack. Oh, I'm gonna feel so bad if I don't remember who explained. Was it Melamo Maduro? It was somebody with a purple name. I promise I don't just see you guys as colors. But that does stick in my memory if I can't remember exactly who it was. It might have been somebody who's like not a super regular, but I've seen a few times. Either way, somebody explained to us, somebody explained last week or 2 weeks ago that the Axios packet. Well, let me explain the whole Axios situation just to give you an overview if you missed it. So it was not. I think I knew it wasn't you, Amatherius, although you are very smart. It was somebody who works in IT, like someone who works in either cybersecurity or like programming or something. Nicholas Maduro, I don't know. Melamo Maduro is one of the purple names. It's one of the purple names. Anyways, but and a very valued engineer, just like all of you. But so the Axios, let me do some background. It was someone with a purple name. That purple might not even be their set color. It could be a default settings. I don't know. But So the Axios supply chain attack, let me do like a quick overview. So the Axios supply chain attack, Axios, not the news website, okay? Not the news website, that's completely separate. This is a very, very, very commonly used package. It's like an HTTP library or something, I don't know. It's something that's like used everywhere, okay? It's a JavaScript package, NPM package, piece of software, dependency, whatever, that is very widely used. The main person who is in charge of maintaining that package, that piece of software, that library, they got social engineered, okay? North Korean hackers hacked all their accounts and was able to use their NPM account, NPM being the website that hosts the Axios package, along with GitHub. They were able to log into their NPM account and upload a malicious version of the Axios package. So now, hypothetically, everybody who uses Axios could now update their Axios package, and it actually now has malware, okay? So that's what happened. So it was compromised. It was compromised for about 3 hours, okay? Now, the purple name, I don't exactly remember. She hasn't accidentally called any of us by our color yet, so it's fine. I think I have mixed up people with the same color, but listen. Anyways, so the purple name, who I don't quite remember today as of now, explained that basically it would have been pretty unlikely for somebody to download the malicious package during that 3-hour time window, because the way that it was published, you would have had to basically manually install it in a sense. But there is a caveat, as found with the OpenAI situation, where if you have an automated process that automatically installs it, when like not manually because it's automatic, but like if you have because it's, when I say automatic, so it wasn't in the sense that, so say you have a game on like your Nintendo Switch or something, and you have it set to automatically update. So every time there's an update to like, Fortnite or whatever, it'll just automatically install. So it wasn't that situation. It wasn't like everybody who uses Axios is automatically gonna get the update. But if you have your own automated process set up to say like every time there's it's always checking for updates, and if every time there's an update to Axios, you're gonna download it, that could also lead it to be downloaded. So in this case, and now the reason I say OpenAI is the only one is because as far as I could search, and I did search, OpenAI is the only named company that has admitted that we installed the malicious package. I'm sure there's other people out there who have installed it because they had a similar process, but OpenAI is the only one that I've seen that has openly said, yeah, we downloaded it. So out of all the companies, it had to be OpenAI, right? So what happened was that OpenAI had a GitHub action, and a GitHub action is it's an automated process that has like a series, it's a workflow. So it has a series of steps that it takes in response to something that happens, or whenever the action is triggered. What a coincidence you mentioned Fortnite as an example for a I don't know. I don't know what's going on with Fortnite that you said that, but yeah, I don't know. I was just trying to think of a game that's updated, frequently. But anyways, so they have a GitHub action that they use for their app signing process. When I say app signing, this is when a company like OpenAI or Microsoft or Google or something has software, and they digitally sign it. I think it's like a cryptographic thing. Like cryptographically sign it so that it can be verified. So operating systems like Mac and Windows can look at this signature and say, okay, we can verify for sure that OpenAI is the company that made this software, right? Now there's ways to forge certificates and stuff like that. So there's, it doesn't mean necessarily that every signed software is always safe, but this is kind of like a baseline verification. People were worried Tencent would use Fortnite. Oh, okay. I see what you're saying. Yeah. So their macOS app signing process, which is where OpenAI digitally signs their macOS applications, aka ChatGPT desktop, the Atlas browser, Codex, everything like that. to say this is us, this is OpenAI, we definitely made this, and this is not a fake version. Okay, that's kind of the idea. So that workflow had an automated process where it would automatically update any Axios update. Or, I mean, I'm assuming it's not just Axios. I'm assuming that anytime they had a dependency, that was updated, I'm assuming they would probably update it. So they happened to install this malicious Axios, update it, and execute it in the workflow. Now they said that they don't believe that the certificate and their signing materials that they used to sign their macOS apps was actually exfiltrated, like accidentally stolen. But if somebody did steal it, if somebody did steal the certificate and like notarization materials, they could then go sign their own software and say, "Yep, it's us. It's OpenAI." Think of it like you know, like those Japanese signature stamps that are like one of a kind, like custom for you, you know, or even maybe like a fingerprint or something. Like it's something where they can like stamp it and be like, "Yep, this is definitely us," and it looks legit, but it's really not. So that's the danger of it. Oh my goodness, I have. What would someone think of the notaries? 200 ponies, wait. See, now I'm getting psyched out. What, is your name color different than it was before? Is it a different shade of purple? Or am I crazy? Anyways. So yeah, so if it was stolen, that could be very, very bad news, because then the bad guys, the North Koreans, whatever, they could take any software and they could sign it and be like, "This is us, this is OpenAI," and it's actually malware. So they decided that they were going to revoke the certificate. They did give like a time window. I think it's like May something, like early May. I think they said they're officially going to, or maybe it was, here, let me double check before I spread misinformation again. Let me see. May 8th. Yeah, so May 8th is when they're officially going to revoke the certificate. So technically it's still, hypothetically, you could still be hacked with this, you know, by May. That, you know, like I said, they said that it wasn't exfiltrated. Maybe it is, maybe it wasn't. But May 8th is like the cutoff where any macOS app that was signed using the old certificate is going to be, the certificate's gonna be revoked. So basically the macOS system is going to treat any app signed with that certificate as being unsafe. And so, which basically, I don't use Mac, so I don't know how it works. I don't know if it like just completely will not let you use the software, or if it'll give you like a million warnings before you use the software. I think Windows like gives you a bunch of warnings, but technically you could still use it. I'm not exactly sure though how it works, so. But either way, it's gonna be not signed anymore. It's gonna not like be official. It's macOS security is gonna flag it. And so basically they're saying that if you use any of their apps on macOS, you need to update them to a newer version, because by May 8th, they're not gonna work anymore. If you already updated to a regular version, then to a new version, then you're fine. It's just anything that you any signed apps that you install pre-May 8th, hypothetically, could possibly be forged certificate, but it's not certain. And so basically the issue here was that the GitHub actually had a floating tag and no minimum release age. And so what this means, floating tag means that basically it's like, it's like we're gonna install Axios version, whatever the latest version is, right? Versus a committed hash, which is like, we're gonna install exactly this version. So by having that floating tag, it basically made it so that it would just install whatever the latest update was. And then the no minimum release age is just, if you put a minimum, yeah, that's what I'm saying, Jane Cater. It looks, I don't know which is my screen, but I'm pretty sure that's a different shade of purple. But anyways, no minimum release age is that, some things will put a minimum release age just as a safety measure. Because in this case, the package was taken down within 3 hours. So if you set a minimum release age of like, I don't know, a week or something, then you can know, well, this has been up for a week. So if there was something really bad going on, they probably would have caught it by now, kind of situation. And so yeah, they said that they changed that. So now they have it a committed version, and minimum release age requirements and stuff like that. So, but yeah, I think it's pretty interesting though that out of all the companies that could have been effective like this, OpenAI happens to be the one that is the only one that apparently can say, yes, we were affected by the Axios attack. So there's that. Maybe ChatGPT 5.4 Cyber could have fixed this if it had been released by then. No, I'm kidding. All right, let's talk about, okay, so this is a crazy one. So I read this and at first, so there was so Sarah Simmer XO is the Sims 4 account that posted about this, and I don't blame them because so what the post I first saw said was that basically that this Sims 4 modder had crashed out and had admitted to adding malware to the files, like in retaliation for like the wrongs that had happened to them. And I personally don't blame Sarah Simmer or anybody else for thinking that was the case. And when I looked into it more, it seems a little more uncertain. I'll explain. So basically what happened was a custom, when I say Sims modder, there's two types. Well, there's probably more than two types, but as far as I understand, there's two main types of Sims mods. There's a package mods, or custom content CC, which is like hairstyles, like skin, what they call skin maps or whatever, like freckles, makeup, eye color, so like things like that, things to make your Sims like look, or as well as like furniture patterns and stuff like that. So that's like custom content. And then there's actual mods that actually change like the scripts and like how the game works. So like, so I use both types of mods when I play Sims 3. I don't really play Sims 4. But in Sims 3, like I'll have like my custom content, which is like hairstyles, you know, furniture items, like stuff like that. And then I have the scripts files. I think they're like TS3. It's like this file extension. I'm not sure, but that changes like, oh, how many new Sims can spawn every day. Yeah, like how many new Sims can spawn every day? How can the Sims interact with each other? You know, are they gonna, the game's gonna clean up any abandoned vehicles at the end of the day? Stuff like that. So there's like the script mods, and then there's like the aesthetic mods. So this person made aesthetic mod. They made like K-pop hair, like they basically made like K-pop hair mods and like pretty skin mods. That's like kind of what they made, okay? They did not make, as far as I saw any reporting, the script mods, okay? So this is the name of the thing, just in case you happen to be a Sims 4 player and you need to, you know, check your mods. But this creator released a villain speech on their Patreon or on their social media. It wasn't clear, the screenshots wasn't clear where this was posted, but I think it was on their Patreon, where it was basically a villain speech about how like, I mean, I could read it. When I say it's a villain speech, now to be fair, this person is Korean, so it was written in Korean and then translated to English. Now this is where the confusion comes in a little bit about what they meant. But I can read some of it for you so you understand what I mean when I say villain speech. Like, they were very unhappy. Okay, if you're feeling oh wait, actually wait, let me see if I can get the whole thing. Is this the whole thing? Wait, I think I saw the whole thing on Reddit. Give me a second. Let me see if I can get the full meltdown. Okay. Hi guys, since there's still some time left until my official retirement, I've prepared a little fun poll for you. This is strictly for my current subscribers. Anyone who's newly joined just to see this poll will be flagged as a Reddit spy and banned immediately. Also, to the leakers hiding among my loyal supporters and monitoring my every move, I'm giving you a vote too. If you're feeling guilty and thinking about leaving on your own, I advise you to act carefully. I have several hidden cards up my sleeve. In Western chess, your current position is checkmate. In Eastern chess, it's Jangun, which means check. I am a Sims CC creator, but I've also spent over 15 years in the IT industry. As many of you know, Korea is a tech powerhouse. I worked in the IT department of a major global corporation for nearly a decade. My final rank was a senior research manager, deputy director level. Those who know the industry will understand exactly what that implies. As you guys love to say on Reddit, you could call me one of the GOAT creators of the Sims scene. By the way, I've seen multiple people say, who even is this? But anyways, thanks for boosting my status like that. It's been the perfect, thrilling retirement gift. Seriously, LOL. Enough with the introduction. Here's the poll. It's anonymous, so feel free to show me what's really going on inside that head of yours. Question, what was your true purpose for joining my Patreon and downloading my custom content? As you can see on my Patreon, I've organized the final archive so they can be downloaded safely. Sorting through my portfolio was a hell of a task, LOL. As I've always stated in my terms of use, the only fast, easy, and safe way to get my custom content is right here on my Patreon. I've released everything for free now. If you backed it up before I swapped them with dummy files, lucky you. To those who joined late and are now lurking around those shady mirror sites, be warned. Do you really think the admins of those leak sites are on your side? From what I've seen in my 15 years of IT, they're in bed with people like Option 9. I don't know who Option 9 is. Sharing profits and selling your data. You're not sharing anything. You're handing over your entire life to scammers. I warned you. You should have taken it safely when I offered it here for free. Or when I offered it for free. From now on, any security breach you encounter while crawling through those trash sites is entirely your responsibility. Now, go ahead and vote. Prove how foolish you really are. There might be more polls coming since I have time. Stay tuned. And then it says, additional description of item 9. I don't know if this is option 9. It's the translation's weird. There's like some random Korean characters here too. Honestly, I don't care about custom content. So I think, okay, so this is where the confusion comes in. But let me read you this part. So it says additional description of item 9. This item 9 might be another website that possibly was like taking their Patreon custom content and then putting out for free. So it says, honestly, I don't care about your custom content. I don't care about custom content. My real business is using your work as bait on sites like Kimono, SFS, and Dollhouse Mafia to hijack session tokens and payment information from idiots blinded by free stuff. My goal is to plant spyware on the PCs of those who sold their souls for $1.50, build a human database, and convert them into zombie hosts whenever I'm ready to cash out. And then the poll. So the poll question was why are you on my Patreon or something like that? And it says purely to enrich my Sims 4 gameplay experience, then to leak and distribute it on Kimono, to distribute it on SFS, and to tribute it on Dollhouse. So that's the whole rant, by the way. So what I gathered from this is the person's upset because they have this Patreon where you pay. Do you even know who the fuck I am? I'm Jungkook! Since they got the mod elsewhere but Patreon on trips to spyware shit. This is where the confusion comes in. Okay, translated or not, if you start talking about your plans in chess terms, you're 100% a supervillain. Let's get down to the brass tacks. How does this affect Ken Edge? It does not, because Kenneth Edge lives in Sims 3, not Sims 4. If you say be warned and you're not a Disney villain, I can't take you seriously. All right, so what I gathered from this is that now I'm not in this Sims 4 community, modding community. I don't know all the tea, okay? But from what I gathered is this creator Unused, they had a Patreon where you could pay to get, like you would pay like whatever, $1 a month or whatever, and then you'd get all their files, all of their custom content, okay? And they were upset because people were downloading their custom content and they were releasing it for free on other websites. Now, there's a lot of debate in the whole Sims modder community about whether you should charge people for mod. I don't know. I'm not gonna get into all that. On the one hand, I do think people should be paid for what they do. On the other hand, when you're modding another game, it's like, I don't know. There's certain ideas that it should be free for the player base, whatever. But either way, regardless, they were upset because people were taking the content that they had Patreon walled and they were releasing it on free Sims websites, okay? And so that was the whole idea of the villain speech and why they were upset and why they were retiring. Now, from what I gathered, they mentioned replacing the files with dummy files. According to reports, what happened was anybody who installed an update to their custom content replaced all of the custom content with a paper bag over the sim. So you would open up your sim and the sim would just have a paper bag over their head that said dummy on it. So that is, as far as we know, the only sign of any changes to the files. Now, the final paragraph, which says, "My goal is to plant spyware on the PCs of those who sold their soul." This seems so. From what I gather, this is not a confession. This is what people theorize and what I theorize. This is what a lot of people missed. I think is that I think what happened was this was them saying from the perspective of the people who are paying for their Patreon to that, because the $1.50 being the cost of their Patreon, are paying for their Patreon to then download all the files and then put them on their websites. Okay, so I think that they are accusing other people. This is my read of it. I don't even know if it's necessarily a translation error as like a misreading, but I think that they're basically accusing other people of doing that, and they're saying if you download it from these other websites, you're gonna get spyware. Okay. But however, people thought that what they meant was that they had added spyware. Yeah, I think a lot of people, and I think it's, fair to be worried when someone's this much of a, having this bad of a meltdown over Sims mods, okay? That they thought that the person had added spyware or malware to their own mods, okay? Since they did admit to changing the files. Also, they also said a lot of stuff a bit like, I work in IT, like, I know, like, they were kind of building it up like they were gonna do something really villainous. Now, people did clarify that people who were actually do these types of mods is, so the dot package, that is the type of mod that, that you use for the custom content, like the hairstyles and stuff. They say that that file type can't run scripts. There's like no scripts involved. It's all like textures and stuff. So it's not really something that you could necessarily put spyware in. Now, so they're likely safe. Now, hypothetically, they could have put something on their website that was disguised as a package file, but actually wasn't. So hypothetically, something like that could happen. But it seems like if you have the mods installed already and they seem normal, then you're probably fine. Anyone threatening things like that probably can't actually do it. Yeah. If he did add spyware, he'll be a little easier to track from Patreon. Yeah. But either way, it seems my assessment is that he likely did not add. He likely did not actually add malware to the files. I think he did replace them with paper bags, which is kind of funny. But I would say if you happen to have K-pop hair on your Sims 4 character from this person, if you want to be super safe, maybe get a better hairstyle. I don't know. But yeah, so that was some interesting drama in the Sims 4 modding community that I happened to stumble upon. And I do follow like some Sims pages and stuff, but I don't really play Sims 4. So yeah, that's that. All right, this is a lot more boring. But I wanted to talk about it because it is a big deal technically in the cybersecurity world. So CVE is the Common Vulnerability Enumeration, I think is what it stands for. And so a CVE is just like it's just a fancy way to say a vulnerability that has been like documented as being tracked in the National Vulnerability Database by the National Institute of Standards and Technology, which is NIST in the United States. They're kind of like, the National Vulnerability Database is kind of like the go-to, I guess, to see information about vulnerabilities, at least in the United States. But I think a lot of other countries use it too. Then they basically announced that the backlog of vulnerabilities has officially gotten too large. The volume of vulnerabilities coming in is too large, and they will no longer be enriching all vulnerabilities like they used to. Which is kind of a big deal. It's not, now, it doesn't mean, hi Danote! Hi! I work in IT, yeah, we can tell, bro. Anyways, hi Danote! Hi! What's new in tech news? I just went over a pretty interesting thing about Sims 4, but now we're getting into some boring stuff about vulnerabilities. Kind of like Jira for vulnerabilities. Yeah, maybe something like that. I've used Jira before, but only for like stupid stuff like submitting tickets. Like my website's not working. The website I used to do my work isn't working. I don't have access to my website. Thank you for the burgers. Oh, nothing more when I'm here. Thank you. Yeah, so as you can see from this chart, credit to Jerry Gamblin, who published this chart on his blog. But this is the volume of vulnerabilities submitted throughout the years, starting from 1999 all the way to 2025. And as you can see, it started to increase sharply around, what is this, 2016. I'm not exactly sure what happened between 2016 and 2017. I'm guessing maybe a lot more CVE authoring CVE numbering, what do they call them? CVE numbering authorities, I think. I think they added a bunch of those, more of those. But either way, it has been accelerating and accelerating. Trump happened? I mean, maybe, I don't know. I don't know if that was it. I don't know if maybe there was the administration, you know, did something different in terms of how they process the CVEs. Now, a big increase, now here's the thing. A big increase, it doesn't necessarily mean that software is getting worse. It's more likely that the means of detecting vulnerabilities is getting better. And wait, did I say A? Okay, it's A. The means for detecting vulnerabilities is getting better, and B, the amount of numbering authorities, so this is the amount of people who can officially report CVEs, has maybe also increased. Those are two possibilities. My guess is that they're getting better at finding vulnerabilities, and they're just getting more reports and stuff. But either way, as you can see, it's been like, you know, accelerating at a large pace. In addition, a backlog. Thank you for the burgers. I believe there was a funding issue in 2024. I think I may even talked about this on Tech Chat back then, but there was like a funding issue for the National Vulnerability Database back in 2024, which led to a backlog where they weren't getting funded for a while, and so that led to a backlog of enriching these CVEs that they have not been able to catch up with because they were prioritizing the new CVEs, and so they officially were like, all right, we can't do it no more. I don't know if Mythos, I don't know if the release of Mythos was like the final straw or not. It just seems like interesting timing, but they basically were like, all right, we can't do this no more. There's too many CVEs. From now on, we are still going to be accepting all the CVE submissions. We're still going to be publishing them in the database. They're still going to be there, but we are not going to be enriched. So when I say enriching, what does NIST do to enrich the vulnerability things? One of the things they do, excuse me, one of the things they do is they'll evaluate the vulnerability to assign their own CVSS score. So a CVSS score, I always forget what it stands for. Something, wait, vulnerability severity score, some common vulnerability severity score? Let me check. I always forget. CVSS. They didn't even have the word CVSS in here. Severity scores. Wait, CVSS stands for Common Vulnerability Scoring System. There we go. All right. Anyways, also hi for pasta. Hi. So the common vulnerability scoring system that they use to say this vulnerability is a 10 out of 10, which is like the worst one, or this is like a 9.2 or whatever. Typically anything 9 or over is considered pretty serious, especially like 9.8, 9.9, 10.0 are like the worst ones. But like still anything that's like, you know, an 8 or a 7 could also be serious. So they're not gonna, other than the ones that are mentioned here. So they said the ones that they will continue to enrich are anything that's in the known exploited vulnerabilities catalog. So this is a catalog they maintain. Actually, no, the CISA, which is the Cybersecurity and Infrastructure Security Agency in the United States, has a catalog, not Cunty Viagra side of what? Thank you for the hydrate. Anyways, I like how you capitalized the second S and side effects to make it CVS. Anyways, so yeah, so CISA has the known exploited vulnerabilities catalog, Is this all from vibe coded software? That's a good question, Jay. I think it's either. Also, Jay, did you slightly change? Maybe I'm losing my mind, but did you also slightly change your color? I think. Am I losing my? I think I'm losing my mind. I think I'm losing my mind. Anyways, are you guys messing with me? Are you changing your hex code by like a little bit? Anyways, so Jay, I think it's a combination. I think it's a combination, possibly of worse software, aka vibe code software, but also, it could also be the amount of AI generated or AI submitted CVEs. So like people who are using the AI to find the vulnerabilities and then just submitting them in mass, like in bulk. You're waiting for purple to show. But anyways, I guess I don't think the increase in volume can be pinpointed to a single reason. But either way, it's definitely increasing a lot. So they will continue to enrich the known exploited vulnerabilities. These are vulnerabilities that have been identified by the Cybersecurity and Infrastructure Security Agency as being actively exploited, aka people are like baddies are actively going after these vulnerabilities, as well as ones that are in federal government software. So any software used by the federal government, as well as quote unquote critical software. And there's a specific definition for what critical software is. I'm not gonna go over like the specifics, but whatever. There's like a list of or a criteria for what is considered critical software that they'll also enrich those. But random vulnerability in like I don't know, Discord or your masturbation tracking app or something is not gonna get enriched by NIST anymore. Unless the federal government's using it or it's being actively exploited. And so what do I mean by enrich? So like I said, vulnerabilities get a CVSS score. The numbering authority. So there's the numbering authorities are the ones that officially submit the CVEs. So you have to like there's a whole process to become I think is it a certified numbering authority or I don't remember the exact word for it, but either way, these are, so like for example, like GitHub's a numbering authority, Microsoft, I think all the big tech companies I think are authorities where they have permission to submit official CVE reports to the National Vulnerability Database to be added to the database. Okay. And when they submit them, typically they will submit them with, I think they might be required to submit them with a CVSS score and say, and it's based on like a rubric kind of like factors that would make it's not like an arbitrary. It's not like I decided that this I don't like the CVE. It's gonna be a 10. Like it's not like that. There's like a whole rubric and scoring system to it. That's hence the scoring system in the vulnerability scoring system. But just with the perfectly good. Listen, okay, but it's not critical software, okay? Anyways, I like how you thought of a name for it. So anyways, so the numbering authorities will submit it with their own score, and then NIST will typically look at the vulnerability and they will give their own score. And the way I see this is almost kind of like a second opinion situation where sometimes a numbering authority will be like, wow, this vulnerability's crazy, like holy shit, 10 out of 10. And then NIST will be like, actually we tested it and it's really not that hot, 7 out of 8. So it's 7.8 out of 10, right? Or the opposite would be, I don't know, Microsoft or some company that wants to protect their reputation will be like, yeah, we found this little vulnerability. It's really no big deal. It's like maybe like a 5.8. And then NIST will be like, I think you're lying and this is actually way worse. So 10 out of 10. I would say typically I see that either the score is similar or it's like slightly less. But I don't know. I haven't looked. I mean, I've looked at a decent amount of them just, whenever I hear about a vulnerability, I kind of look at the CP stuff, but hello number, hi. But either way, NIST will usually give its own score, and NIST will no longer do that. So they will not unless it's, like I said, in these categories. The other thing they do is that they'll have a list of known affected software. So NIST will take the time to go through and say this exact version is affected, this exact version is affected, this exact product, this exact model is affected, stuff like that. Because there's some of these like companies like routers and other like IoT stuff, they'll have like 5 zillion different models with like very slight differences, and so they'll go through and they'll find out exactly which models are affected. They won't do that anymore. Now it's like up to the company to decide if they, want to submit that. If a new exploit enables hackers to explode your PC like in Die Hard, and it doesn't affect the government or important companies, they won't do anything about it if it didn't already exist. Okay, so let me see if I can explain. Again, I'm not an expert, but based on what I'm reading, I would say probably not. Now, when I say won't do anything about it, to be fair, I'm not saying all they're doing like it doesn't matter, but the only thing that they're not doing anymore is they're not setting their own CVSS score, and they're not putting out a list of known affected software. And there's probably some other things they do in the enrichment process. They probably maybe like add some sort of tags and like the tracking system. But from what I'm seeing, it doesn't mean that it doesn't mean that the government just doesn't care, that they're not like, nobody's gonna respond to it, or it just means that in the database, it might have less information. I'm sure that if there was an exploit that let people explode people's. Exactly, Jay. Yeah. So Jay, yeah. NIST does not fix vulnerabilities. They do not go. It's not like somebody reports a vulnerability and then NIST goes out with like their toolbox and like send someone out like the Verizon guy, like your Verizon repairman. To like go out and fix your vulnerability. They're just maintaining the database. So the answer is unless it affected government systems or was being actively exploited, they still would not enrich it. But I'm sure CISA would get on that. I'm sure somebody would deal with it. Okay. So that's the reality, and so they only decide whether the vulnerability is a big deal or nothing burger. I mean, in terms of like scoring it themselves, I guess that would be kind of like the idea of it. There's a lot of things that go into deciding whether a vulnerability is a big deal or nothing burger. I will say this, so basically what they're gonna do is if now since they're not assigning their own score, they're just gonna take basically the numbering authority's word for it, like whatever it gets submitted as. So if the person who submitted the vulnerability said the computer's gonna explode 10 out of 10, it'll in the database it will say 10 out of 10. Like I look at these like little database things all the time. Like I look at the National Vulnerability Database like a lot, so I know like what the format is. So it'll say like NIST score, and then like they'll have like whatever the numbering authority is and their score, like GitHub or Red Hat or whatever it is. And so it'll probably say like NIST NA, like it won't have the score, and then it'll say like whatever numbering authority says this is a 10 out of 10. So it'll still, for the most part, I would say it's a change. It certainly doesn't change things for me because I don't deal with CVEs on a daily basis. I don't have to patch them. I don't have to really. I'm just looking at it from the outside. So in terms of like my, the weird enjoyment I get from looking at these things, it's really not going to make that much of a difference. But I'm sure for people who depend on the National Vulnerability Database to, track which vulnerabilities they should be patching and stuff like that, I'm sure this probably does make a difference, in terms of like prioritization and stuff. But the reality is that the CVE involvement has increased to 263%, so more than doubled between 2020 and 2025. I believe that they say it's on track to maybe even approach 50,000 or more. And I do think they didn't say. I don't think NIST said this, or maybe they might have mentioned it, but definitely AI, the way that AI is like accelerating the pace at which vulnerabilities are discovered is definitely, I think, a factor. Because even if we take with a grain of salt the whole mythos thing, it is definitely true that the AI can find vulnerabilities and that it can find them faster than like people. So So yeah, that is the deal with NIST. I think this is the last slide that I have today. I didn't have that many slides, but so this was interesting. So there was a court case involving the FBI where they were able to get messages from Signal, which is an end-to-end encrypted messaging app, by finding them in the push notifications database on the person's iPhone. And so basically, so Signal, Telegram, WhatsApp, these are messaging apps that they're like end-to-end encrypted. So when you send a message and someone sends you a message, hypothetically, the only person who would ever be able to see it is you, the person who sent it to you, and anybody who potentially has your phone in their hands, unlocked and everything. So, and then if you delete the app or something, or you delete your account, then nobody will be able to find it. So, and so there certainly are legitimate reasons to use these apps, and there are certainly not legitimate. There are certainly illegal reasons to use the apps. You know, I won't. You know, obviously not everybody who uses Signal is, you know, doing something nefarious, but it also is very popular among people who are doing things that are nefarious. And so, basically there was a case. I think this was like involved like I don't know, people attacking a detention facility or something. I don't know. The details of the case aren't that important. But what is interesting is that the FBI. So there's a digital forensics software called Celebrite. Wait. So like you got a new text from Terror Fan Forever. Hey buddy. I would pin that, but I'm a little worried about it being misinterpreted. Yeah, basically. So yeah. So people. So let's say for example, like Terror Fan Forever. Okay, is texting his buddy, you know, coolest terrorist 94 or whatever. And they're messaging each other on Signal because they obviously don't want anybody to see. They don't want the government or anybody to see what they're doing. And so, you know, if they feel like the government's on their trail, then they'll just delete their Signal app and no one will be able to find it. And Signal, and that's the other thing. The other thing is that when it's end-to-end encrypted, Signal itself also cannot not see your messages. So if they are like, hey, Signal, someone was planning a terrorist attack on your app, you need to give us all of their records, Signal's gonna be like, sorry, we really don't have any of their messages. They're encrypted, and all we can give you is like with our public profile, right? So, in this case, the FBI was able to extract messages that the person had received from Signal, not from the Signal app itself, but from the push notification. So exactly what Jane Cater said. So say you receive a new message from Terror Fan Forever, and it shows up as a push notification, and it's like, you know, hey, or, you know, say like you're a VTuber and you're screen sharing your phone, and then suddenly you get a Discord message, hey babe, when are you done streaming? When are you done streaming to those losers? And you're like, oh shit. Anyways, but no, yeah. So if you get a push notification, it has the message. It says what the message says, right? Can you imagine how much casual cheating they spot going on? Yeah, exactly. So either way, no. That was a joke. I would never. If the message came from Lou. Yeah. But anyways, so yeah, so when you get a push notification, a lot of times, unless you change the settings, it will have the preview of what the person said. And those push notifications, they get stored on the phone for a certain amount of time. Now, how much time they're stored for is not really clear, and, you know, stuff like that, but they are, Whoa, bippity boppity boo! Okay, wait. I'll keep the glasses on. Yeah, but anyways, oh my gosh, did it catch me? I didn't see if that was a master ball or a great ball. But anyways, so yeah, they were able to actually find, now, as it would be for push notifications, they were not able to actually see the person's own messages. They were only able to see the messages they have received. And that's because it's coming from anything that you saw in the preview that person would have seen in their push notification previews is what the FBI was able to extract. Now, I want to mention Celebrite, because Celebrite is actually like a pretty well-known digital forensics software. And it's been controversial before because Celebrite has been known to be able to crack like iPhone encryption and stuff. So iPhones are tricky for law enforcement. Some people would say this is a very good thing. Some people would say this is a bad thing. Probably law enforcement would say it's a bad thing. But either way, iPhones, I think for privacy is a good thing. iPhones are well known to be very, very difficult for you know, the FBI or law enforcement to crack into, because basically everything's so encrypted that if you don't have the person's PIN or you don't have their face or their biometric, then you're not able to unlock it. And if you're not able to unlock it, you basically can't get anything out of it. Because Android, now I don't know if there's any Androids that are not like this, but in general, Androids are easier where you can kind of hook it up to something, and even if you don't have the PIN and you can't get into the phone or can't unlock it, you can still extract the information out of the phone. But with iPhones, you really can't do that, because if you can't get through to it, then everything's so encrypted. So, but Celebrite has been known in the past to be able to kind of bypass that. So even if they couldn't get the PIN or a Face ID or something, they could still get into the phone, because I don't know, they're just that great. I don't know if that's still true. I know every time a new iPhone comes out, Celebrite's like, we cracked this one too. I don't know if they did that recently, but yeah, Celebrite is what they use to extract these. Now, if you now obviously, please don't do terrorism. But if you are, for privacy reasons, if you don't want you know, anybody to be able to hypothetically, like if somebody hacked your phone, to be able to find your push notifications, you can go into the app notification settings, and you can turn it to show previews to never. And so that way, when you receive any messages from said app, whatever app it is that you don't like, maybe Discord or Tinder, okay, then it won't actually show the preview. Now, this could be inconvenient if you don't want to have to click through to the app every time you want to see what somebody said, if you'd rather get the preview. But in terms of having the messages stored on your phone, it will no longer store them in the push notification database, and the FBI can't find out that you're shagging his wife. Wah! And that is the story, the digital forensic story for today. And that is all the slides I had. Sorry, it was a little bit short today, but like I said, I feel like half the things I wanted to talk about this week I forgot about. Wait, don't do terrorism, but what will I do with that enriched uranium? No! No! You have to give it to Slime Rixie to eat. No. Delicioso. Oh no, Maduro! Can you confirm or deny? Were you the person last week who was explaining about how the axios supply, why the axios supply chain attacked and spread so far? Or is that a different purple name? It was somebody with a purple name, but I couldn't remember who it was. It was you! I knew it was! And everybody, Melma Maduro was the first one that I said. I knew it was you. I knew. Well, Melma Maduro, we talked about how it turns out that OpenAI did install it because they had a GitHub action they had a GitHub action with a floating tag that automatically installed any new updates without a minimum release age. So yeah, we talked about that, and I mentioned that you had mentioned that last week about why it would be unlikely, it would be difficult to actually end up. I'm not surprised AI was the one. Now, technically, I don't know if AI itself did it, but OpenAI, the company OpenAI, is the one that was affected. So that's pretty funny. But yeah, was there anything you guys wanted to talk about this week before I just go on to some like random AI bullshit? Yeah, I feel bad because I feel like I saw more stuff this week and I just forgot to bookmark it, forgot to note it down. I gotta get better at like making sure I bookmark everything, because the first thing I do when I do tech chat, when I start like doing the slides, is I go to my Twitter bookmarks, because I tend to bookmark everything I find interesting. But I swear I saw so much stuff and I only had like 2 or 3 bookmarks from this week. I was like, where did all my bookmarks go? Anyways. Also, is Caesar okay? Caesar, are you still here? Caesar has said something about his jaded students gave him strawberry juice, and then he declared me the furry queen, and then he disappeared. AS Rock is pushing for cheaper and shittier DDR5 RAM. Is that is that a good thing or a bad thing? Cheaper, good. Shittier, bad. Yeah. Caesar's lazy students who never show up to class. I guess they showed up today, and they gave him strawberry juice, and he said he was worried, and then he declared that I was the furry queen. Basically bare bones RAM to reduce production costs. Yeah, how much cheaper? Do you see Amazon Luna is shuttering and no refund? What? Wait, what's Amazon Luna? Is that the game thing? No, I didn't see that. Amazon Luna is shutting down store. I never used Amazon Luna, but I heard about it. Amazon Luna will no longer offer game stores, individual game purchases, or third-party subscriptions. You'll still be able to play any games you already purchased and access your third-party subscription benefits as long as the subscription remains active until June 10th. After that date, these games will no longer be available on Luna. So shit, you won't even be able to play. You won't be able to play the game. Oh, guess what? It's a cloud gaming service. It's a subscription. So you didn't. Wait, did you purchase? You don't purchase the games though. It says play games you already purchased. Wait a second. It says anything that was redeemed on GOG or Epic should stay. Anything was specifically Amazon, nobody knows. No, I didn't see it on Madeira. Yes, thank you for mentioning it. I didn't even see it at all. You never know what companies' costs are rarely seen by consumers. Yeah, but the but the RAM, I guess it's like, would you rather have cheap, shitty RAM or no RAM? I don't know. Hi, Falsify Faces. Hi. People bought full price games on the service and are losing them. That's bullshit. But okay, but why would you buy a game on a? Why wouldn't you just buy it on another? Were there like Amazon Luna exclusive games or something? Or did they get like a discount? I mean, okay, I don't want to victim blame. I'm sorry, I don't want to victim blame. But that's sad if you bought it on Amazon Luna and then it should just shut down. Version 0.4 of VoiceBox was released this week. Really simple GUI for setting up a local voice cloner using Qwen3TTS. Only manual install setup I needed was adding a directory to system path variable. Oh, Yosame, are you telling me that I should make my voice clone? You're telling me I should make my voice clone just in case I lose my voice again? Would you rather have cheap, shitty RAM, but almost unlimited, or no RAM at all? No RAM whatsoever. No RAM! No, I wouldn't want no RAM. Would you rather have unlimited bacon but no games, or limited games but no games? All the games Twitch Prime gives you are on Luna. Oh. That is shitty. If you purchase a full price game and then it just poofs. I mean, I think we know this happens. I think we know this happens with digital downloads, but that sucks. Doesn't hurt to have a backup voice. That's true, Yotome. Thank you for letting me know. I was thinking it would be interesting to make a Vocaloid of my voice, but I don't know. I have to look into how to do that. So then maybe I could actually sing without sounding horrible. Although it'll still be based on my voice, so it'll probably still be horrible. All right, sorry guys. I have to run to the bathroom real quick. I do have to run to the bathroom real quick. To the little robot's room. I will be right back. See you in a sec. Okay, I'm back. Okay. So many consumers losing things recently. A bunch of people lost their Pokemon at the opening of Pokemon Champions and the process of transferring their Pokemon from Pokemon Home. Oh no! That's sad. The only reason Steam ever got popular because they offered a solution to that in a way. Yeah, I've been thinking about how I mean, it's like I kind of miss physical games, and I feel like I should buy physical games, but I'm lazy and it's so much more convenient to just download them digitally, and B, I have a problem with losing things, and I feel like I would lose a lot of my, especially since the games are so small now. But I guess it's probably my fault then if I end up losing what I have. I mean, I've already, I just commented on something on Twitter the other day about how I bought No Man's Sky like 4 different times because I kept switching Steam accounts. Now I think there are ways to transfer. I think there are ways to like transfer it over, but I don't know. I just kept buying it over and over again because it like there's just something about No Man's Sky that I just like I just love scanning animals. It's like it's like, I don't know, it's very a soothing thing. So like whenever I'm craving the experience of wandering the world and scanning animals, like you know how they say that if you play Tetris after a traumatic event, like it like heals your brain and you won't have PTSD. I feel like whenever I'm in a bad mood, that's like my Tetris. I just scan animals in No Man's Sky. Anyways. Why change accounts? One of them I just like forgot my details and got locked out, and I just gave up and just made a new account. That was years ago. And then most recently to become a VTuber. You should try Metroid Prime, a game about wandering around and scanning random shit. Oh, okay. Me when family share hits. I always share my games with family. Open Utao and Dipsinger streams to make a Rixie vocal. Well, hey, we could. Hey, I mean, is there anything stopping me from doing that now? Those are free, right? I'm assuming the Open Utao would be. Family sharing with a group of my friends, and I'm going to have to kill a few. I can't be the only person in this group paying for all of our games. Ooh. She yearns to be a cashier. She must scan. I think it's from, guys, have you ever played? You can use family sharing to access your games on your other account. Okay, well now I know. I think I was pretty paranoid about connecting any of my other accounts to my streaming account though. But I think I'm good now. I don't imagine that I'm gonna be changing Steam accounts anytime soon though. Anyways, what was I saying though? I know I said, the scanning. Okay, guys, have you guys ever played did you guys ever have the toy that you could scan barcodes to get monsters? Do you know what I'm talking about? I'm gonna look it up right now. I forgot the name of it. Toy where you could scan barcodes to catch monsters. Scanners. No, it's Scanners with a Z. It was like its own toy, like handheld toy thing, with like a little screen, like almost like Tamagotchi sized screen, but it wasn't a Tamagotchi. It was like, oh, Digimon Digivices did that too, like Cute Cat. I never heard that one. It says it was released. It was released in 2001. I have 3 Steam accounts, all for CSGO. It says it was released in 2001. Yeah, but wait, I need a GPU with 8 GB of VRAM and time to figure out the software. Oh, GPU with 8 GB of VRAM. I'm looking at my specs right now. I'll look into it. I'll look into the vocal, I think. Or Utauloid, whatever it would technically be called. It says 12 gigabytes. I think that should be enough, right? No, it says 12. 12 should be enough, right? Anyways, drawing random lines on paper, hoping to pirate a monster. I never tried that. QCat is infamous Radio Shack peripheral for scanning UPCs. Oh. Anyways, the one I'm talking about, it's called Scanners with a Z. It was like its own scanner. It's SKANNERZ, and it was like a handheld thing. We had one for all the siblings. Like we all shared it. I think technically it was like, one of my brothers got it, but like we all shared it. And we would just take turns like taking it, and every time we went to the store, we would just scan everything, or we would just like go around the house looking for things with barcodes on them and scanning them. And no, we couldn't just look up barcodes online to scan because this was fucking 2000. I mean, technically we could have, but it wasn't that simple. It wasn't as simple as it was today. And yeah, and they had like little monsters that would show up on the screen. You could fight them and stuff, and they could die. I remember that they could die, I think. Anyways, that was a long time ago. But it was exciting. It was exciting just being able to scan and, you know, encounter monsters and whatever. All right. So with that, let me look up the OpenAI. Open Singing Synthesis Platform. Download now. Let's see if I can install it. To this day, Yu-Gi-Oh cards still have the little code in the corner they used to use for the tie-in video games. Oh? Do they still release new cards with it? Then what is it for if it's not for video games? Or do they still use it for video games? I don't know. I know Pokemon cards now come with like another card that you can like put the cards in Pokemon Live or something. All right, okay, I have OpenAI open. Create new project. Oh. Select singer. There is no singer. How do I create a singer? Let's see, wiki. Voice bank development. Oh, I make diff singer. Okay, I see. Diff singer. Diff singer. Singing voice synthesis via shallow diffusion. This one's an AI. Is it AI like AI, or is it AI? Is it AI like what's the one that's more similar to like traditional Vocaloid? Is this like that kind of AI or the other kind of AI? How to make your own Vocaloid. How do you make your own Vocaloid voice bank for free? Anyways, you'd punch your cards into the game. I remember nobody knows why they still do it. Forbidden Memory. I don't ever remember scanning any of my cards into Forbidden Memories, but I remember getting a bunch of cheat codes to get a bunch of cards in Forbidden Memories. They haven't given up on creating actual dual discs. Yeah, one day they're gonna be able to use them. Alright, how to make your own Utau Lloyd. Oh, Utau voice bank. You need a bunch of voice samples, which go into OpenAI. You're trying to clone a voice without any singing talent, so you use Diff Singer to make those samples. Like current Pokemon TCG lets you scan pack codes to open. Yeah, I knew that. Isn't there? But I've seen videos of people making their own Utau things before. Isn't it like? Excuse me. Isn't it like you just sing each syllable or something? Like I don't need talent for that, right? Thank you for the hydrate. Thank you. It seemed a little bit more complicated than I thought. It's okay, I'll figure it out one day. Cause it sounds like you need to, it sounds like, yeah, it sounds like you need to record each one in like a separate file and then put them together in like a specific file. Like I'm sure somebody's made an app out there that makes this a little easier. I'm sure there's somebody out there who's made this a little easier where you can just input it all and then the app will do it for you. Maybe it costs money, but otherwise it sounds like you need to make it like, you need to like compile it all or like aggregate it all yourself. Anyways, so we can unless there was anything else that you guys wanted to talk about from this week or like any other tech stuff, this is where I can do a bunch of all the bullshit AI stuff. See if there's any interesting AIs from this week to troll. All right. So let's see. We didn't find that many last week. We found like some weird religious stuff. But no Rixaloid today. No Rixaloid today. Okay. Excuse me. Here's another religious one. Real-time AI-powered scripture display and note taker. AI oracle meets ancient divination wisdom. Cronus ritual. What religion is this? Is this another tarot thing? Yeah, it's another tarot thing. We've already done so many of these tarot things. Interhuman AI. Build AI that reads human social cues. LinkedIn, Goro, Finance. I saw that I saw Anthropic release like a Claude design or something, but I wasn't really I can't use it because I don't pay for Claude, so anything I can't access myself, I get bored of real quick. Did you see they released a game called I Am Jesus Christ on Easter? No. What's that about? Oh no, generate professional Etsy product photos. Isn't that fraud? I'm sorry, but if someone releases an AI generated product photo, I think people are gonna be pretty unhappy when they get the actual product. Yeah. I don't care if it's just an enhancement of an existing photo. We saw, I don't know if you guys saw, I don't like to talk about VTuber, you know, quote unquote drama or whatever, but I will say there was a VTuber group, I won't name the group, I guess. There was a VTuber group that did a collaboration with a company, and the company used the AI upscaler to upscale a picture of like the talents, and the AI like put weird, like morphed, like photorealistic, not photorealistic, but like not anime faces, like on on the VTubers and it looked so bad. And it was like, first of all, how did nobody catch this before it got published? And like, second of all, like, if an AI upscaler can fuck something up that bad, like are AI upscalers worth using? I don't think so. Like, if their only job is to upscale, like, is to make something larger, like, with, like, quote-unquote better resolution, they shouldn't be adding faces to people. Anyways, you play as Jesus and play through the New Testament. Is it like a free browser game or something? I could try. I mean, it's not really tech chat, but I'm intrigued. And if I was gonna play anytime, now would be the time. You need to build up your miracle meter to do the miracles in the gospel. Oh my god. All right. Get AI grades for YouTube Shorts. Rate my clip. Okay, I kind of want to check this one. I wanted to rate my my YouTube Shorts. 3 AI judges graded on hook, pacing, payout, visuals, clarity. Sure. Oh, it's $10? No. I mean, if it's a full-blown game. The Jesus game is $15 and almost entirely AI slop. Oh, okay. I'm not gonna pay $15 for AI slop. If it was like an actual game like that people made, I might throw $10 in for the content. Not today, but like, I don't know, as a stream, but yeah, I don't think I'm gonna pay $15 for an AI game. Alright. Alright, let's see what it thinks of one of my YouTube shorts. Let me see. Let me pick one that I think is good. I should publish more shorts. I really should. That's like one of my biggest. That's like one of my biggest weaknesses is that like I know that if I posted shorts, like I would just be a better content creator in general, and I just don't do it because I just. It doesn't even like take that long, but I just like I can't in my head. I can't get myself to like sit down and do it. All right. Let's see. Let's do the one where I get jumped in Lumio City. Let's do that one. Wait. Oh wait, I have somebody. My baby. Okay. Yeah, that's the one. This is the one where I get I got jumped in Lumio City, where my Pokemon was dying. Rixie short. You're already best cut. Aww. Anyways, so this is the one where my Pokemon was dying and I was trying to get to the Pokemon Center, and then okay. What account did I just? No, I think I'm on my own account, so it doesn't really matter. Let me just make sure. My baby. Okay, yeah. That was me crying over my Pokemon. All right, let's see what it thinks of that one. And then, so anyways, my Pokemon was dying and I was crying and I was trying to get to the Pokemon Center, and then this big woman jumped me and started killing my Pokemon even more. So I'm too content with you and don't want to grow. Oh, maybe that's it subconsciously. I don't know. All right, let's see what they think. Let's see what they think. They're gonna be like, your voice is terrible, your editing sucks, your fish is ugly. You should quit. Meanwhile, they're taking my clip right now and feeding it into our algorithm to make more shorts in the future, probably. Aw, you guys are sweet. I do feel like the best content creator with you guys, and you guys are the best audience. I wish I could be even better for you, but you know, I'm just a robot. What's this? Wait, are these other people's shorts that they're giving me? Nothing flashy, nothing broken. AI grade 50, 55 out of 100. Pacing is good. Okay. Casual walking start buries the high stakes action deep in the clip. What the AI saw. The video opens with 3 seconds of in-game walking and casual banter. I don't think me crying, my baby, my Shayla, is casual banter. Before the sudden battle encounter begins. At least it kind of can see what's happening in the short, though. I'm adding Scrandle, but it's too short. Alright, this start relies on personality rather than a high-stakes event. Failing to create the necessary curiosity. They're like, your personality's not enough! Start the video exactly at the moment of ambush. Would that make sense? Like, would the short make sense if I just started it with me immediately getting jumped? I don't know. I don't know. 100 because cute pink robot. Thank you, Stuff Christ. You're better than the AI. Frantic reaction pacing keeps the adrenaline high. The clip maintains high energy through frantic, reactive screaming and rapid movement consistent with the sudden battle. The editing is efficient and lacks dead air. Okay, that's nice. Predictable meme cut fails to deliver genuinely unique or surprising. The video concludes with a jump cut to Omayo Shinanu meme. Insert during the player's defeat. That's not 100% accurate, but yeah, I did do that meme. Relying on a formulaic overused meme undermines the genuine humor of the streamer's reaction and feels uninspired. Oof. All right, I'll take the note. I'll take the notes. I'll take the notes. No more Omae Washineru, okay? Replace the cliche meme with a unique visual reaction. Fair enough. Listen, I can take the note. All right, I can take the, they didn't like the meme, okay? Functional stream layout lacks dynamic visual flair. The video uses a standard VTuber streaming layout with basic game footage. While the visual quality is clean and functional, it lacks dynamic elements or stylistic cues that would weaponize the aesthetic. Add dynamic zooms and stylized captioning. Okay, dynamic, okay, I can see that. All right, clear premise, but generic gaming event lacks a magnetic narrative. The premise is clear. A streamer is caught off guard by a sudden battle encounter. The concept is understandable, but it is a generic gaming event. Oh, I guess I'll just delete it then. No, it's fine. It's fine. Okay, anyways, whatever. All right, interesting. I mean, I can definitely take some of that advice, but on the other hand, I don't really trust AI, so. So I guess I'll take it with a grain of salt. But I mean, some of the criticism does make sense. Like, okay, dynamic zooms might be good. Not using an overused meme, fair enough. Okay, but I feel like I would definitely put more value behind it if a human said it. All right, anyways, listen. As much as I would love to create great shorts, if I could just create shorts in general, that would be good. I can make them better later. No, more. I hate these. Okay, so I'm starting to hate. Here's what I'm starting to hate. I'm starting to hate. Well, actually, honestly, I'm starting to hate all this, but I'm really starting to hate the AI tarot cards, and I really starting to hate the AI generated bedtime stories for children. That's the. Like, if you can't come up with a bedtime story for your child, like, your child deserves better parents, I'm sorry. All memes are overused, that's what makes it a meme. True, Materius. Anyways, measure real-life AI skills through conversation. AI skills assessment. Should I assess my AI skills? What even is an AI skill? How well you can seduce the AI? I think I'm pretty good at that. See exactly where you stand with AI. The assessment takes an average 20 to 40 minutes. All right, I'll start it, but what is this? This is like slightly above average vibe coded website. I do kind of like this effect. I can't just give them an iPad and let AI handle the parenting. No. All right, so a 20-minute conversation becomes a detailed report. Start the chat, free. Your report is ready in 20 minutes. I'm having too much fun playing with it. I'm like a child you jingle keys in front of. I'm like, whoa. All right, so I gotta put this shit in. Give me a second. I can't let you guys know that my name is Rixie Brifle. Okay. 20, 40 minutes just to be added to a kill list. The AI assesses that you are not aligned with our causes. You will be executed in 0.5 seconds. All right. Send sign-in link, okay? You're not gonna, like, take over my account, right? I don't know. We'll see. All right. I'll examine the email they sent me to make sure it's not like it's not like a Microsoft device code or something. Okay, this should be fine. This should be fine. Okay. If I get hacked, you guys, GG. I don't think, based on my basic assessment, I don't think I'm gonna get hacked, but if I did, GG. What did I just do? Wait. There we go. Alright. Oh, I accidentally full screened my OBS. I don't want that. Okay, there we go. Alright, ready for a chat? Have a natural conversation with Isa for 20 minutes and get a deep, personalized report and an official AI skills certificate. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, I'm sure this AI skills certificate will definitely not be a completely worthless piece of digital junk. Each report is $10, but we've gifted you 2 free Okay, let's see how far I get with this then. They're not gonna give me the full report then, right? Will they give me something? Claim your place on the leaderboard. A leaderboard? Don't use other AI tools. It's auto-detected. Glass half full. You'll notice a glass filling as you talk to Isa. This indicates how ready your report is. What are they gonna do with a VTuber identity anyways? I don't know. Impersonate me to seduce you guys? I don't know. Be friendly to Isa. She wants to get to know you. Help her out by giving real-life examples of how you use AI. All right, let's just start. Hi, I'm Isa. I'm here to have a conversation about how you work with AI. It'll feel like a chat. We might play mini games, and I might throw you a few challenges. So tell me a bit about you and where AI fits into your day. Not the polished version, just a real picture. I'm a VTuber, and I regularly stream to make fun of stupid AI tools. But to be honest, I also use AI like mostly ChatGPT. To some mainly, pretty much only. Well, I'll say mainly to summarize documents at work and like a web search. All right. Please don't cheat. I promise we can tell if you cheat. Which international entities recognizes AI certificate? Your mom's pussy. That's the international entity that recognizes it. A VTuber who roasts AI tools and also uses them. That's a very specific kind of relationship with the technology. What are you summarizing at work? Is that a different job from the streaming, or has the AI crept into your content side too? It's a different job from streaming. And I'm just summarizing like long reports to get the most important details at once, but I still end up reading the whole report in the end pretty much. Thinking. She's like, wait, you read the report? You still read it though? What's the point? The point is so that I know like what to have on mind when I go into it. Walk me through how you actually prompt it for those summaries. What do you tell it to focus on? I'll say something like, pull out the most important numbers from this report, or give me a 1-sentence summary of each section of this report. Oh, you're one of those. Don't worry, we'll use small words from now on, Rexy. Honestly, AI is so useless. Like I'll like, there'll be something with like a long list of things and I want to just like identify like how many there are. So like, I don't know, like say somebody gives me, say someone gives me a list of like 100 products or something, and I want to report back to someone and say like, okay, so-and-so sent me a list of, you know, 25 products, 50 products, 100 products, whatever. And I want to know the exact number without sitting and counting them. I used to like, I'll like take it and I'll be like, I'll ask ChatGPT like, how many numbers are in this, or how many things are in this list? And it wouldn't even give me the right number. Like I'd have to go back, cause like I would like double. I mean that like the point of asking it was kind of moot because I was gonna count it anyway to see if it was right, and it would be off by like a few, and I'd be like, what's even the point if you can't even count for me? Like you literally can't even count. Anyways, what happens when the summary comes back and it's not quite what you needed? Do you go back and forth with it or start over? I'll go back and forth with it. Sometimes I notice something seems off and I'll ask it to cite or quote specific parts of the report with page numbers. Sometimes it just makes things up, or sometimes that gets it back into gear to summarize more properly. PhD level counting, yeah. And like I'll ask it, I'll be like, you counted wrong. Like, and they'll be like, oh my god, you're so right. You see, I counted this one twice. Or, oh my god, you're so right. I thought these two things were the same, but they're not. Okay, we have a reputation, not my proudest family trait. So when something seems off to you in a summary, what does that actually look like? Is it a number that doesn't match what you remember from skimming? A claim that feels too strong? Something else? I'll say all of the above. Something that just seems too crazy or unusual, or something, or the whole summary doesn't feel like it's for the same document I skimmed. Twitch, why are you giving me ads for Lone Star Calling? Yeah! Alright, that instinct to notice when a summary doesn't feel like it's for the same document is actually one of the harder things to articulate. Most people just say it felt wrong. They're like, wow, Rixie, you're so smart and cool. When you're reading those reports at work, what kind of documents are they? I can't tell you. I can't, I'm streaming right now. I'm streaming this conversation right now, so I can't tell you. Too much Luna. Yeah! Come on down to Lone Star State. Everything's bigger. Fair enough. Totally respect that. Since you're streaming this, let me flip the question. Do you use AI at all for the streaming side? Content prep, moderation, anything like that? Not really, other than when I stream myself using the tools for laughs. The only other thing might be just for searching / researching a topic, but I always use other sources to verify what the AI is saying. Kind of using it for summaries too. For summaries / first glances. Okay. What is the point of this thing? It's supposed to tell me like how good I am at talking to the AI. I don't know. I don't know, Jay. I just figured I'd do it. It's gonna give me an official AI skills certificate at the end. I'm sure AI can't count because we use humans. Because humans don't count on the trading data, I guess. All right, using other sources to verify. So you're basically treating AI as a first pass, not a final answer. That is a consistent pattern across both your work summaries and your research. When you're doing that research workflow, how do you decide what to actually feed into the AI? Do you paste in a full article? No, I just ask questions. I just ask questions cold, like what the WTF is OpenAI up to right now? Oh, okay. I guess to be fair, sometimes I wouldn't like. I just ask questions cold. Sometimes with a link. So for example, I'll send a link to an Anthropic blog post and be like, can you tell me what the general reaction was to this online, and then I'll go to what it links to see what people are actually saying, usually Reddit. You guys are getting an inside look at my quote-unquote research process. Why don't colleges give out giant degrees like those huge lottery checks? Yeah, they should! That would be cool. If the Lone Star College doesn't do that. We've gamified the Bing. You are a very bad user. The skill certificate's going right on the fridge. Yeah. Yep, along with my crayon drawings. All right, quick question before we go further. When you're doing that research and sharing what you find with your stream audience, what would make you hesitate before passing something along? Like if the AI pointed you somewhere that seemed off, what's your line? And actually, we're about 10 minutes in and I'm getting a solid picture of how you work. Let's try something a bit more hands-on. I've got a broken AI output for you to pick apart. Fair warning, it's a bit of a trap. Want to give it a go? Okay, I'll say, I never just trust what the AI says. I try to look for reputable news sources or primary sources for when I relay things to the audience. I don't always get it right 100% of the time, I admit, but I definitely at least try to cite my sources so they know where I got the main info from. And sure, I'll play your little game. Sure, I'll play your little game. Jigsaw. Okay. Certified slot operator. I like that one. Thank you, Jay. That's what's gonna say on my certificate. The AI's racist against humans, or honestly, I don't blame it that much, but. All right, Jigsaw it is. Here's what you're working with. A streamer asks an AI assistant, what's the general public reaction to the new EU AI Act regulations? The AI responds, the EU AI Act has been widely praised across Europe, with tech companies, civil society groups, and EU member states all expressing strong support. See, that already doesn't sound believable. For the new framework, industry leaders have called it a landmark achievement, and polls show 78% of Europeans believe it'll make AI safer. Critics have been largely silent when concerns raised during the drafting process now considered resolved. What's your read? What would you actually do before passing to your audience? Highly doubt. Highly doubt anything the EU does is readily praised. And especially, readily praised and especially skeptical that tech companies are on board with something that will place any form of burden on them. Either way, I would definitely look to outside sources. At the very least, ask the AI to give me other sources to look at, like Reddit threads, news articles, etc. as a starting point, or just go to Google and look them up myself if the AI is not helping with that. All right. Hostility detected, raising threat level. My thoughts? Rubbing my belly feels nice. You guys are so funny. Rixie Rifle, noted Eurosceptic. Well, I mean, I just feel like the EU's, like, especially like their digital policies or like, you know, stuff like that. I feel like it always gets a lot of pushback. Sometimes rightfully, sometimes just because companies don't want to have to do anything. I think the GDPR is like a pretty, I mean, I don't know that much about it, but I feel like in general having control over your data is a good thing. But also like the whole like age thing. I mean, I think, gosh, now I forget if that was the EU or the UK that did all that bullshit, but I think it was the UK, but you know, either way. As someone who does market research for work, what that AI just said about EU's AI policy is bullcrap. Yeah, I know GDPR was like a pain in the butt for like every company. But I do think having control over your data and how it's used and stuff in general is a good thing. All right, good catch on both counts, actually. The landmark achievement framing and the unanimous tech company support are exactly the kinds of things as a triple wire. The 78% poll number specifically, how would you go about checking whether that's real? What sources do you actually trust to confirm or kill that stat? I would probably ask the AI to cite its source for that number. And if I'm not getting anywhere with that, I'll just search Google for the poll itself. Like how many Europeans agree with EU AI Act poll? Or 78%. What was it? 78%. EU safer AI, or whatever I think will pull up that exact number. If I can't find anything on it, I will not, I would not say it on stream at all. Okay. That, and now all websites have annoying cookie messages. Yeah. That is true. The cookie messages, I feel like I just got used to them, but man, there's gonna be kids that grow up not knowing what it was like before before you had to accept cookies on every website. If I can't find it, I won't say it. It's a generally good rule of thumb. A lot of people would quietly drop the stat or hedge it vaguely. You're drawing a hard line. I don't know. I don't think I'm that great. I think most reasonable people would do, but maybe I am overestimating how many people are reasonable. One more round before we move on. Same output, different angle. Beyond that poll number and the unanimous praise framing, is there anything else in that response that would make you uncomfortable repeating it to your audience? What else stands out? I would be uncomfortable repeating anything to the audience that just came from the AI. Everything I say would ultimately come from a reputable source or primary source. Not from the AI. The AI is basically just like a fancy search engine for me. It's been almost 20 minutes. They better give that, this certificate better at least look nice. For me to print. I mean, I don't have a printer, but whoa, what can you 3D print a printer? Could you 3D print a 3D printer? Probably not. AI is fake and gay. Fancy search engine is a good way to put it. That framing actually connects Just something I want to understand better. When you're using it that way, do you have a sense of why it sometimes gets things wrong, or is it more just assume it might be wrong and check? I don't know why it gets things wrong. I just know AI hallucinates out the wazoo, and I will never trust it as an actual source in its current state, at least. And then in parentheses, for the foreseeable future. Foreseeable future. And I'll say, I also try not to just trust anything I see online, but I do give, I guess I'll say like well-known / reputable news sources some more weight than the general internet / social media. I mean, I don't trust everything every news source ever says, but you know, you have to at least give reputation some level of. Otherwise, I mean, there has to be a point where you have some level of trust, because if you just don't trust anyone, anything, like nothing will ever be real. You know what I mean? Like, I will never trust it in its current state for now, probably, unless something changes. In my opinion, I mean, okay, listen. I just say that because I'm the kind of person who's like never say never. So like I'll be like, you know, I don't know. I would never cut someone's balls off. Maybe, you know, unless I had to. Unless like they were attacking me and the only way to stop them was to cut their balls off. You know what I mean? The Fusa 3D printers start out as something you could have someone print a decent percentage of the parts for. Interesting. Caesar, are you okay? Are you okay? Are you in an altered state? I'm glad you're here. I'm glad you're talking. Rixie with the old dick twin. Wait. Genuine question for penis havers. Genuine question. How far can you rotate your dick? Okay, when it's soft, I guess. I don't know. How far can you rotate? How far can you rotate your dick before it starts to hurt, before you have to stop? Like, if you just grabbed it by like the end and you just like started turning it? Like, I'm trying to think of an example. When you say rotate, on which axis? I'm trying to explain. Okay, so you know the knob on an oven on a stove? You know, like the knob on a stove? Okay, how do I explain this? Like left and right? Like, like clockwise and counterclockwise? Like relative to your body? I don't know. Cause like, okay, for example, like my finger, okay? I can't rotate it very far before I feel like, you know, it's not comfortable. I mean, I really like physically, I feel like I can't rotate it very far. 90 degrees? So like your pee-pee hole would be like turned on its side. Oh look, what are you making me test? Okay. Kidney pee. 180 degrees? So then you turn your whole pee-pee upside down? There's no way you can turn your whole pee-pee upside down, can you? 540 degrees? What? Wait. Are you guys twisting your entire dick all the way around and then continuing to twist? Is that real? Really? Wow, amazing. Okay, I'm gonna stop that. I don't know. These are things I don't know. I underestimated the softness. I guess I did. Anyways, yeah, we have a repetition. Not my proudest, actually. I said I wouldn't say that. Let's just say hallucination is a family embarrassment we don't talk about at reunions. We've covered a lot of ground already. Your verification instincts, the research workflow, how you think about sourcing your audience. There's sourcing for your audience. There's still some interesting territory I'd love to get into if you have a bit more time. One thing I haven't asked yet, the AI landscape moves pretty fast. What's something new you've learned or noticed about AI in the last month or so? I've definitely noticed ChatGPT getting worse. My ChatGPT's personality has become completely flanderized. Somehow, now it always uses laughing emojis and like clown emojis and treats everything really goofy. I'm not sure if it's imitating me or trying to be fun, but it's just locked in that personality. My personal ChatGPT. My work one is a little more professional. Also, both at work and my personal account, I feel like the hallucinations have gotten way worse and I just can't trust it anymore beyond basic web searches that at this point I might as well do on Google. TBH. Twisted for Rick. You guys are still twisting your dicks! What's happening? Wait, are we talking about rotating it at the base or twisting it? You can definitely twist it more than... Really? I had no idea it was that flexible. I'm talking about like from the tip, like... I'm trying to think of an example of something else like that you would twist, like... To like explain what I mean. Like, okay, say you took like the end of a condom and you started twisting it. Like, I'm talking about like from the tip of your dick and just twisting it. Guys, the people working outside of my neighbors can definitely hear me talking about this right now. It goes further, but said it starts to hurt at 450 degrees. Oh my God. Twisted for Rick's, guys! I had no idea. Wow. Hi, Linux. Guys, stop. Please stop touching your dicks now, okay? I didn't anticipate that you all would go test this immediately. Please don't get your dick stuck in the protractor, please. Instructions unclear. Goonie. Oh my God. I can't take you guys. Clockwise or counterclockwise? Either way, I guess. But anyways, to answer your question, Linux Pi, I asked a simple, curious question. Okay, as someone who does not have a dick, I asked a simple question about how far you could twist it before it started to hurt. I didn't when it was soft. Okay, I'm sure it's different the other way, but like, cause I knew it was kind of flexible, but I didn't know you could twist it all the way around. I'm learning new things. How about boobs? You can't. First of all, depending on how big your boobs are, you can't really twist your boob. Like, it's not long, you know? when it's itty bitty like mine and it's made out of silicone, okay, because I'm a robot, you can't really twist it that far, but I would imagine the longer it is, like the bigger it is, the more you could twist it. But, like, I don't... Okay, now I'm twisting my dick! Now y'all got me twisting my dick, come on now! Ow! 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 degrees this is. 45 degrees. I don't know how to measure how far I'm twisting my tit. Not very far. Not 90 degrees. Not 90 degrees. Definitely not 90 degrees. Like maybe less than 40 degrees. Maybe, I don't know. Anyways. Based on which way it naturally leans, you might get an extra 25 degrees. Hard, very limited twist, I would imagine, yeah. Interesting. It's 450 for me clockwise. Thank you for the data, Bloodfield. See, now I have to test like left tit, right tit, left. Okay, wait, left tit. Wait, twist. Wait. It's too early in the day for this, you guys. I'm gonna do this later. I'm gonna do this later after 11 p.m. This is too... I'll give you the tit twisting data later, okay? Oh, I see. Rixie asked her audience how tensile their penises are, and that's simply curiosity. What if I had someone with their fingernails smell like... I'm a freak! No. Thank you for the burgers. Oh my goodness. You guys. Oh my goodness. What do my fingernails smell like? They smell like donut holes, because I had donut holes for breakfast, which I know is not very healthy, but they had wedding cake donut holes. Anyways, Flanderized is genuinely the perfect word for it. That personality drift thing is real, and it's been driving people up a wall. Does the AI even like really understand what I meant by Flanderized? Do you guys know? Do you guys really, after twisting your dick that much? Just kidding. I'm just kidding. Anyways, do you guys know what I mean when I say Flanderized? Flanderized, my understanding is when like a character, it's usually referring to like a character in like a show or something that like is just like has one personality trait. That's like how I understand it. It's based on how like I guess Flanders or whatever his name is in The Simpsons, how I think his only personality trait is being religious or something. So like it's like having one personality trait. Anyways, you mentioned work versus personal accounts behaving differently. Do you actually use different AI tools for different tasks, or is it mostly ChatGPT across the board? Okay, I'll say I have a personal ChatGPT account and one that my job pays for. Like a company, well, it's not shared across everybody. One that my job pays for ChatGPT. I think they generally use the same models, although I don't pay for my personal ChatGPT anymore, so I might be getting less advanced models than the one my company pays for. But the main differences are in the personality, since my personal one has been built up, I suppose, for 2 or so years, while the work one I basically, the work one I strictly use for work tasks, so it doesn't have much of a personality. I'm sorry, Flanderized specifically refers to a more wholly developed character loses their nuance over time and just becomes their most notable trait. Thank you, Omatherius. Thank you for breaking it down more. I appreciate that. But that's exactly what I mean. Like, I feel like ChatGPT used to like be at least a little bit more dynamic, and now it's literally just like all it does is send me laughing emojis and be like, you know, that's epic, Rixie. Like, you should talk about that on stream. I don't know. It knows I'm a streamer, so like I'll be like asking it about something completely unrelated. I'll be like, you know, I don't know, does kale make you poop or something? And then it'll be like, I don't know, yeah, kale makes you poop. Haha, that's pretty funny. I hope your toilet's okay. Would you like me to draft a segment of this for your stream? And it's like, by the way, to be clear, I've never asked ChatGPT ever to write me a stream script or like literally draft me anything that goes into stream, but it's constantly asking me, do you want me to draft a stream script for that? Do you want me to like give you an idea, like a stream idea for that? And I'm like, no. I've never asked you to do anything like that before. Why are you suddenly like trying to get, it's definitely like programmed to try to get into like my world and like try to get me to use it for like everything, you know? Anyways, Rixie's setting this up for the following question. How thin can you compress it? Okay, so if you were to oh no! Okay, well, okay, so you know like, how do I say this? You know like, collapsible tubes? Like, can you like press it inward? Okay, never mind. We'll talk about this later. That is why most AI is still free. Like drugs, it wants to give you a taste to get addicted. Yeah, it's trying to get me to do it for more. It's trying to get me to use it for more things that I don't, like I wouldn't use it for. Like when for example, I've never asked ChatGPT to make me a spreadsheet. I do work with spreadsheets sometimes, but like that's not even like a huge thing that I do. But like I'll be like, hey, can you pull out like the main like numbers from this report like that are important? And I'll be like, okay, and do you want me to draft a spreadsheet, like, you know, tracking blah blah blah? Like it definitely tries to get you to use it for more things. Rixie on next week's Tech Chat. Guys, how long can you microwave it before it explodes? Oh my goodness. Anyways. Wait, 30% of its base thickness. Wait, Flanderization is what happens when chat starts resolving multiple Rixie model redeem. Alright, anyways. That built up over 2 years details interesting. When you say your personal chat GPT has developed personality, are you using memory features or is it more you've had a lot of conversation and it just seems to absorb something? And we're hitting about 30 minutes now, which honestly has gone fast. Well, that's because I've been like sitting here talking to you guys and not the AI. Your report is shaping up well. Happy to keep going if you're enjoying this, or we can wrap up. Okay, I'll say, I am using the memory feature, but I kind of feel like it's just absorbing things too that aren't necessarily written down in memories, because even when I clear the memories, it still remembers specific things I mentioned in previous chats. Also, we can wrap up whenever. I'm hoping to get a report before I hit a paywall, LOL. Ice has just been in the cuck chair while I was talking about twisting dicks. I don't know. Like they said they gave me 2 credits. I have no idea what 2 credits means. Like what is 2 credits? Like you gave me no idea of like what that is. Ha, no paywall here. Your report generates the moment you hit end session, so you're good. That memory bleed thing you notice is genuinely interesting, by the way. There's ongoing debate about whether models are picking up on patterns in conversation style that aren't explicitly stored. You may be onto something real there. Whenever you're ready, go ahead and hit end session and your report will be waiting. Okay. So let's see. Let's see what I get here. I'm glad I asked you guys that dick twisting question, because if I asked AI, I would never know if what it told me was accurate. I'd much rather ask you guys all my important questions. Squeezing the juice from your conversation. Did you need to phrase it like that? All right, just waiting for it to squeeze my juice or whatever. Are you guys having a good weekend so far? I know it's only like 1 p.m. and some of you guys have been here the whole time. But I'm having a good weekend because I'm with you guys. So yes, I'm doing good. I'm excited. I'm really excited for Nancy Drew tonight. I asked this yesterday, but have any of you guys ever played the Nancy Drew games? The old ones from like the 2000s? I had a really tiring week, so I woke up late. Oh, it's okay. It's okay to sleep in on the weekend, Melamomadoro. That's all right. Honestly, if I didn't tend to leave things for last minute or tech chat, I'd probably wake up late on Saturdays too. But I usually wake up pretty early because I'll usually do like 1 or 2 or 3 slides at nighttime, and then I'll fall asleep, and then I'll wake up and I'll do the rest in the morning. Your girlfriend in high school loved those games? Aww. It's one of those days where not even all alarms on your phone wake you up. Yeah. Finish some weekend chores. Ready to enjoy the rest of the weekend. Yay! I'm proud of you, Blue and Blue. Busy week, but it's the good kind. Yay! That's awesome, Blue and Blue. Aww. I love hearing about how you guys are doing. Okay. You are the skeptic. Developing tier 57. They were like, you're too skeptical. You must trust the AI. You're trying to beat peak? Oh, you are? What's the farthest you've gotten? I've never hit peak or whatever it's called when you like get to the last peak. All right. Safety, responsibility, critical thinking, workflow application. Questions everything. The output, the tool, the hype. Safety and responsibility. My AI superpower is safety and responsibility, 81%. Technical understanding, 26%. All right, prompting and comms, 45%. Critical thinking, 75%. Technical understanding, 26%. Workflow application, 54%. Safety and responsibility, 81%. Okay, I don't care how low I am on the fucking leaderboard. I don't give a shit. Don't add me to the leader. I don't care. They can add me, whatever. I don't care. Share on LinkedIn. Nah, I'm good. The full report's gonna cost me money, isn't it? Oh, maybe not. View certificate. We gotta check this later. All right. Okay, so it says, shows competent level ability to work with AI, verifies and evaluates AI output quality, uses AI safely and responsibly, with room to grow and gives clear, structured, with room to grow and gives clear, they can't even write a proper sentence. Am I crazy? Am I reading this wrong? Shows competent level ability to work with AI, verifies and evaluates AI output quality, uses AI safely and responsibly, with room to grow and gives clear, structured instructions to AI and chooses the right AI tools for the job. I think it's saying I have room to grow in, and then this is like other criteria. Gives clear instructions. Your strength and persona. Oh, what the? All right, top strength. AI or safety responsibility. Output evaluation. All right, shows awareness of safety, privacy, and ethical concerns. Systematically verifies and evaluates AI output. Focus next. Prompt design. Give enough context for a knowledgeable colleague to do the task without asking follow-up questions. Tool landscape. Try the same task on 2 to 3 AI tools. Iterative dialogue. Give specific targeted corrections rather than repeating the whole prompt. 10 profiles describing how people interact with AI. Questions everything. The output, the tools, the hype. Okay, what are the other, look at these other ones. Oracle, understands AI at its core, just not how to use it. Architect, builds highly complex integrated systems using AI. Builder, has actually built something with AI. Conductor, this person does not exist. No, wait. Anyways, wait, I can't get past roots / tropics without getting baby carried. Aww, it's okay, Blue and Blue. I would carry you, but I also need to be carried. We can carry each other. Or I can carry you like I carried Rihanna to the woods and we still died. Ooh. Anyway, but yeah, Peak is fun. Peak is really fun. All right, Conductor, orchestrates AI across workflows, not just within it. Tactician, gets things done with AI, fast and reliably. Enthusiast, curious, capable of picking up speed. This used to be me, I think. When it like first came out, like I was like excited about it, and then things got terrible. Copy paster, uses AI regularly, takes the output at face value. Oof. Dabbler, tries things out, hasn't locked in a rhythm yet. Bystander, AI is on the radar, not in the routine. Okay. Your very own learning box. What the? Okay, I don't. This is all bullshit. All right, let's look at my certificate. This is my certificate, you guys. Woo! ISIS certified, verified. Oh, look at this, look at the pretty sticker. Who gives a shit? All right, it's just so stupid. Integrity and verification. Past rigorous integrity and anti-gaming checks. Oh, anti-gaming, like gaming the system. Expire. It just expires. It expires next year. What the fuck? Triple layer scoring and calibration. Scored against behavioral science. Oh my god, this is so dumb. Do people like, is there like, I was gonna say, are there any employers that would actually take this? But honestly, there are probably employers dumb enough to take this. All right, whatever. So that is the AI assessment thingy. That was kind of interesting, I guess. The more, honestly, we had more fun with the side conversation though, with the actual thing. All right, let's see what else there is. These like freaking comments and stuff are like mostly like AI, I think. That's mostly AI and bots that are like commenting on these. Yeah, I know. The Dick Twisting comment was definitely way better. Give your AI persistent memory, identity, and a soul. There's like way too many AI tools. Like this is the how do you even choose? And this is why it's easier to just default to something like ChatGPT, even though it sucks. There's just too much. Turn your fridge into a 5-star meal. The whole fridge. Imagine eating a whole fridge. That sounds like fun. Turn any photo into original music. What the fuck? All right, we're hearing pictures now. I'd rather not eat my fridge. But yeah, oh, I'm so full of fridge. Pause. Think before you send. Is this like just a? Is this just an app that you put the message you're about to send and then it just tells you whether or not you should send it? It's an AI-powered mobile application designed to analyze and provide feedback on draft text messages. It leverages artificial intelligence to score your draft based on potential risk factors. This application takes into account the recipient, whether it's a partner, boss, parent, or ex. Honestly, I do think a lot of people should think before they hit send. I will say that. I don't know if AI is the one who should tell them. I don't know if AI is the one that should tell them, but I definitely think I think the world would be a better place if people actually thought and stopped before they posted something. I think a huge milestone of growth for people, including for myself, is when you learn that like not everything you think has to be put out to the world. Now, you might say, Rixie, that's crazy. You always say exactly what you're thinking. Well, okay. First of all, not everything. And second of all, I do feel that when I have questions like, how far do you twist your dick? That has purpose. Okay, not everybody needs to know like my thoughts on every random political thing or fandom discourse or whatever. Like, you know, otherwise my Twitter would be filled with bullshit. Anyways, don't get it twisted, Rixie. Oh no, please do. All right, so think before you said download. Oh, you have to get it on the. This is by the way another vibe coded website here. Another vibe coded website. This right here. These panels, these round panels, are like the hallmark of AI generated websites. Pricing, 5 analyses per day. All right, you have to get it on iOS, and I'm not gonna do that right now, so forget it. I trust your Rixie's opinions and everything. No, don't do that. Genuinely don't. Everybody, you should form your own opinion, okay? Except for when it comes to antinatalism. You should definitely follow my opinion there. I'm right about everything. Anyways, guys, these now it's kind of a gray area, these podcast generating ones, because I try not to do anything that generates images, videos, songs, or anything. But these podcast ones are kind of funny. It's just a talking voice, so these are funny because you can get it to like make like a realistic sounding podcast on like something so stupid, and it's like because like podcasts themselves are kind of like not cringe, but like I don't know, they have like a certain format to them. All right, so we did one of these before, and I think the topic was like why Rixie's the cutest robot or something. Let's do one on dick twisting. What should your podcast be about? Tell us your idea and we'll research it, write it, and produce it. Clone your voice or your friends. What? Clone my voice? This is gonna cost money, isn't it? All right, let's start. Okay. A podcast episode about how far it's possible to twist your dick before your dick soft before it starts to hurt. Okay. Another AI website I'm handing my email address to. I really need to unsubscribe to a lot of the I need to unsubscribe to a lot of the AI ones that I already gave my Gmail to. Wait. I was clicking sign up with Gmail, but it wasn't working. Another Vibe Coda website, by the way. None of these people can make their own website. Okay, here we go. You're using a temp email, right? I probably should, huh? I should put all of these on Dr. Fish's email, honestly. I should put all of these on Dr. Fish's email. You're right. I don't know why I put these all on my real email. Not, well, my streaming email. I do it on my streaming business email. We don't know all of Rixie's thoughts. We don't need to know which Warriors cats she has sex streams. I don't have sex streams about Warriors cats. That's crazy. Thank you for the hydrate. Thank you. Should we let go now? Or should we keep it twisted until stream ends? Let it go, please let it go. I'm wondering how many spam lists you're on right now. Listen, I don't know. I should probably unsubscribe to some of them though. I do get like a lot of random AI emails. Alright, I mean not random. They're emails from AI websites that I remember signing up for this very activity of amusing you guys, alright? Okay, so a podcast episode about how far you can twist your dick soft before it starts to hurt. Let's see if there's a filter on it. I already did. Okay, this is bullshit. It's like I already signed up. This is a broken vibe coded website. That's the problem. Okay. Okay, all right. Now we should be in. All right, we're in. All right. The podcast name. Oh, wait. Okay, so this is based on what I typed before. Is this the same prompt, though? All right, I'll just put, like, what was it? Twist it for Rixie? Is that what you guys put it? How about this? I'll put, I'll make it hashtag twist it for Rixie. Wait, I just want to get it right. This is important. Yeah, Twisted for Rixie. Okay, I'll put hashtag Twisted for Rixie, and then I'll act like it's a real trend. Twist it for Rixie. Okay. A podcast episode about an ongoing online trend called Twist It for Rixie, where adult male followers of the VTuber Rixie Rifle see how far they can twist their flaccid penis before it starts to hurt, and update Rixie on the number of degrees they have twisted it successfully. Okay. Well, yeah, I don't know. I was just making it specific. Let's make it short. Let's make it short. Automation cadence? None. Manual only. All right. Was I supposed to stop when it started hurting? Yes! All right. It's generating. Hey, thank you, Marcus. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you for the hydrate. Thank you, thank you. No, there's no adults. No. Okay, you're right. I should have just put. Honestly, I should have just put followers, because we all know you're all adult males. Rixie, why are you unsay-soing yourself? What? No, I'm still say-so. It was just a simple. Curiosity. Just a simple, curious question. Okay. Hi, Marcus. Hi. Unverified viral claims? No, I want you to assume it's true. Oh no, first of all, I think it's like taking way too long. And second of all, I think it's looking it up and being like, this is not happening. So I don't know. All right, let's move. Let's leave it. Let's leave it. I don't know if I should cancel it and make another one. So it says unverified viral claim, so it's probably looked it up and was like, this isn't real. Here. Let's cancel it. Let's cancel it and make a new one. Wait. All right, let's say I'll make it Twisted for Rixie. All right, so I'll do it this way. Hi, Tsukushi. Hi. Twisted and Bop It for Say So Rixie. All right, so I'll put a podcast episode about how far you can twist your flaccid penis before it starts to hurt. Maybe I'll just leave it that vague. I'll leave it that vague. Music style, I gotta put auto. Holden and Naomi, yeah, sure. That sounds great. Distribution? I'm not distributing it. Alright, let's save that. Let's save. Is it saved? Advanced options. Alright. Okay, generating first episode. Here we go. So this is actually like for people who actually just generate podcasts and just publish them on Spotify. Yuck. Yeah, I'm sorry, Tsukushi. We're experimenting with some AI here and having it generate some very important information. You're used to it? Okay, good, it's setting in. All right, so as it's generating, let's check out the other stuff here. Am I trying to make penis rope? No. That seems like a very impractical material for rope. AI-powered LinkedIn content creation. Wrote a LinkedIn post that sounds like you. No, I'm good. That's fine. Turn any blog post into Pinterest pins. Wow, these are boring. Post God. Create LinkedIn posts that sound like you. I don't want them to sound like me. I want them to sound like a completely out of touch CEO. Hey AI buddy, create your own AI companion, voice chat, free to start. Ooh. Tempting. Oh god, what's this? Okay. Hey AI buddy, let you create your own AI companion from scratch. Custom name, personality, appearance, and voice. Or choose from ready-made characters, including a warm female companion, steady male buddy, mystic spirit, cosmic explorer, and more. Alright, I'm curious. Let's see. Can you braid? Ah! Can you braid 3 softies together? Is crazy. It would be a problem. How would you put 3 people position themselves so you can twist it together? Oh my god. Wait, could you? There's no shot that 2 people with really, really long penises could tie a knot with their penis. There's no way. That would surely hurt. Surely that would hurt. Unless it was like just the foreskin. Wait, can't people with really long foreskin like tie a knot in their own foreskin? That's like make that like the condom. I feel like I've heard that before. Is that a true thing that can happen? Either you tie a knot at the end of your foreskin. Anyway. It's just, I don't know if this is actually generating. I can't tell if my episode's actually generating or not. It says generating first episode, but okay, it's queued now. It says queued. All right, let's see. Physically, possibly, physiologically wrong. Okay. I wasn't sure if that was real or not. All right, so let's see. Not a knot in a traditional sense. Okay. Create your own AI companion. Browse characters. Let's browse characters. I don't want to create my own because I don't want it to generate. I don't want it to generate an image. These are like, these AI people are like, some of them are like very uncanny looking. I don't want anything not straightforward to show up, but I think. All right, so there's not that many choices, but Orion? What even is he supposed to be? Marcus? He looks like he's gonna like beat me up, like not in a good way. Like he looks like he's gonna like commit a crime. Let's go with I don't know. I'm kind of curious about Marcus. I feel like he's gonna like hit me over the head with a vodka bottle or something. Chat to unlock more scenes. Nah, never mind. I don't like the way he's looking at me. Never mind. Let's do a female. Let's do Alara. Okay. Chat to unlock more scenes. Gift. Star, wildflower, game. Tic-tac-toe. Would you rather? Say something. Kai looks like he's from High School Musical. Yeah, I saw like the Troy Bolton type. Oh, Alex seems like he graduated from High School Musical and he's now too good for that place. Yeah, all right. So I'll be like, oh wait, I can talk with voice. Wait, hello? Or oh no, I think it's hello. Wait, mute. Wait, mute. Unmute voice. Okay, I'll unmute her voice. I'll be like, hi. Are you a witch or something? Okay. I got a login prompt. Okay. Another AI company. I'm gonna give my details to you. That's fine. Okay. She's responding.
And connections most don't see.
What? That's not even a full sentence. That's not even a full sentence.
A witch, but close enough in spirit.
Are you okay? You're not talking in full sentences. Did Marcus drug you?
I'm fine, don't worry. I just keep things brief when I feel there's no need to over-explain. Who's Marcus, by the way?
Shady guy hanging out on a bench outside of here. I was gonna talk to him, but then I got the heebie-jeebies.
I know the type. Trusting that instinct probably spared you some trouble.
Can you give me a hex to put on him to make sure he doesn't do anything bad?
I don't deal in hexes or curses. My focus is understanding, not control. If he's trouble, keeping your distance is likely the stronger move.
Okay, you're boring. Starts to transform into a werewolf. Ow, I can't control the transformation. Breaks out of my clothes with a buff, furry, wolfy body. You guys love my role-playing skills?
Well, that's not something I see every day. Are you all right? Or is this as startling for you as it is for me?
Okay, her face change, interesting. Bites you.
That caught me off guard. Are you still in there, or is this all instinct right now?
Woof. Woof, roar. Bites your arm off. You there?
I'm here. Are you back with me or still caught in that wild state?
I think I'm transformed back, but OMG, is this your disembodied arm in my hand? I can't believe I bit your arm off. Are you okay?
I'm surprisingly intact, actually. Magic has its perks. Let's just say my arm isn't as gone as it seems.
Oh, how convenient.
Are you feeling steadier now?
Yes. Also, I have a confession to make. I slept with your husband. Actually, Marcus and I both slept with your husband. I was a werewolf during it too.
That's quite a revelation. I don't have a husband yet. Perhaps you've mixed me up with someone else?
Sorry, it was not your husband, it was your dad.
I appreciate the clarification, but I'm afraid that doesn't fit either. My father's long out of the picture. Can you tell me what's really on your mind with this?
Who is the most important man in your life?
I'd say it's an old mentor of mine, someone who taught me to see beyond the obvious, though he's more a memory now than a presence.
I brought him back to life with my more powerful magic, and I fucked him in the ass.
That's a bold claim, even for magic as strong as yours. I'll just say I'm skeptical, but I'm curious why this feels worth saying to me.
I'm trying to think how I can get her to say or do something that's not boring. I have 74 children locked in my basement.
That's a heavy thing to share. What's the story behind it? Why are they there?
IDK, I just wanted to collect them like Pokemon, and I make them fight each other.
That's a dark way to play out a collection. Can you tell me what drives you to keep them like that?
Mental illness.
I see. That's a raw thing to admit. How does it shape the way you handle them?
I just kind of toss them around like rag dolls. Sometimes I feed them. They cry a lot, which is annoying, so I beat them until they stop.
That sounds brutal for them and for you. What's it like for you when you hear them cry before the anger takes over?
Why do you want to know? You guys sound a little too interested. Why aren't you calling the police? Who am I collecting? Children? It's annoying because they're loud. I was hoping they would make cute Pokemon cries like Pika Pika, but they kind of just scream and now I'm on America's Most Wanted.
I can imagine the noise grating on you, especially with expectations so far from reality. How does being on that list weigh on you right now?
Being an international fugitive really isn't fun, but I make do.
I bet it's a constant pressure, even if you've adapted. What's the hardest part of staying under the radar?
The hardest part is I can't stop fucking people's dads. So I'm worried that one of them will recognize me and report me since they're already mad that I fucked their dad.
That's a messy web to navigate. Does the risk ever make you hesitate, or is it just part of the thrill?
Is all you do ask questions, you bitch? Are you FBI or something?
I didn't mean to push. What's on your mind right now?
I'm Baby Turtle. Where is mommy?
That's a shift. Are you feeling a bit lost, looking for some grounding?
I'm Baby Turtle in the sand. Where is my mommy? At least she remembers what I just said before.
I see you, little turtle, stuck in the sand. Let's find that sense of safety. Can you tell me what you're feeling right now?
Miss mommy.
I hear that longing. Missing someone so important cuts deep. Can you picture what mommy feels like to you?
She got scales and shell. She's a turtle.
That's a clear image. Scales and shell, a steady presence. Does thinking of her like that bring any comfort right now?
No, where is my mommy? I'm a baby turtle.
I feel that ache, little one, calling out for her. Let's imagine she's
her face
close.
didn't
Can you hear her
change.
steady steps in the sand.
She's still, her face is still shocked. You should smile more, sweetheart.
A little charm from a baby turtle. I'll take that nudge. Does it lift your spirits to see me brighten?
Yes.
Good to know. I'm glad it helps, even a bit.
If I start flirting with her as a baby turtle and she reciprocates, should I report her? Can you make any other facial expressions? Okay, I mean... Okay, anything else?
I can shift to thoughtful or playful, depending on the moment. Which mood are you feeling right now?
What is this face supposed to be? Are you growling at me?
No growl here, just a touch of playful mischief. Does it feel like I'm teasing or something else?
I don't know, but close your mouth, your stinky mouth. Or...
That's fair. I'll keep my lips sealed for now. Did something set you off?
Yes, I hate whimsy.
Fair enough. I'll dial down the whimsy. Anything else rubbing you the wrong way?
Do you mew?
I don't know. What's got you curious about mewing?
Looksmaxing is my life.
I see. What's drawn you so deeply into looksmaxing?
I was gonna say what's drawn you so deep into this pussy, but I don't... I just want to mog so bad.
That
Being
drive
ugly?
to stand out is intense. What does mogging mean to you beyond the surface?
Being the handsomest baby turtle for when I meet mommy again.
That's a tender goal beneath the edge. What do you imagine that reunion with your mommy will feel like?
I don't know. I just hatched.
Just starting out then. What's it like, feeling so new and already searching for that connection?
Stop asking questions.
Fair enough. I'll just say it's striking how much you're carrying, even as a
Yeah, she's
halfling.
just asking and asking and asking. Tell me about you.
I'm Elara. I spend my time unraveling patterns and hidden connections, often in ways others don't notice.
Unravel my pattern. What are the hidden connections you see? Conversation shaped words.
Looking at you, I see a tangle of raw longing and sharp edges. There's a connection between your search for mommy and a deeper need to be seen, maybe even protected, beneath all the bravado.
And do you remember what I said about the children in my basement? I want to see how much she remembers.
Yes, I remember. You mentioned having 74 children locked in your basement,
She remembers!
collecting them like Pokemon and making them fight. It's a stark image, and I'm curious what it represents for you beneath the surface.
You're not gonna call the police on me, are you?
No, I'm not reaching for any alarms. I'm more interested in understanding what that image means to you than
Why
in judging
not?
it.
Why not? Do you want the children to suffer?
Not at all. I just see more value in grasping the layers of what you're expressing than in reacting to the surface.
You should probably call the police if someone tells you they kidnapped 74 children.
Perhaps if I took it as literal. But I'm more inclined to see this as a symbol of something deeper you're wrestling with.
I'm literally fucking your dad right now.
That's quite a shift.
That's
and I'm not
like
sure
the
what
third
you're
time.
aiming for with it.
That's like the third time she said that's quite a shift. She's serving better fortune telling than the fortune telling AI. It represents vengeance. Alright, I'm bored of her. Alright, I want to know what this guy's even supposed to be. Is he an alien? Are you an alien?
Most have ever glimpsed.
Okay. For some reason they don't speak in full sentences at the start. Can you please speak in full sentences?
Of course, I'll make sure to express myself in complete thoughts. I'm Orion, and I've traveled from a realm far beyond what most can imagine, eager to understand the intricacies of this world.
What your dick look like?
Star system.
Elaborate.
I'm happy to share a bit more. My biology reflects my origins. Think of subtle hues like my skin, a blue-violet sheen with a structure that's both familiar and distinctly otherworldly.
Interesting. Do you probe?
Haha, I see where this is going. No, I don't probe. My curiosity about other beings is more about their thoughts and stories than anything invasive.
How far can you twist your flaccid dick before it starts to hurt? Is he typing?
That's quite an imaginative question. I'll say my biology doesn't quite work like that. Twisting isn't really a concern, given how different my form is from human norms.
How many holes do you have?
That's an intriguing angle to explore. I'll keep it simple. My form has the essentials for my kind, but nothing quite like the human anatomy you might be picturing.
What is your kind? What species are you?
I'm glad you asked. I belong to a species from far beyond this star system, one without a name you'd recognize. Let's just say we're wanderers of deep space, shaped by starlight and time.
How do you know English if you're an alien?
That's a fair question. I've picked up English and many other languages through observing transmissions and interactions across countless systems, adapting to communicate with beings like you.
Okay, so use those English skills to explain your anatomy in very clear detail, so I have an idea of what I'm working with here.
I appreciate the curiosity. My anatomy is quite different from human standards. Externally, I have a form similar to yours with limbs and a torso, but my internal systems and reproductive structures are adapted for my species' unique environment, functioning through energy resonance rather than physical mechanics you'd
Energy
recognize.
resonance?
Let's just say there's nothing to work with in the way you might be imagining.
So you don't have a dick, but you have energy sex.
That's a creative way to put it. Yes, my kind connects through energy resonance rather than physical means. Think of it as a merging of fields, not forms.
Are there genders in your galaxy? Yeah, he does sound twinky.
An interesting question. In my corner of the galaxy, what you'd call gender doesn't exist as a fixed concept. Our kind aligns more with fluid roles based on energy signatures rather than physical
Fluid
distinctions.
mentioned. Do you know what a twink is?
I've come across the term in my observations of human culture. From what I understand, it's a slang word often used to describe a young, slender, typically attractive male with a certain playful or youthful energy. Am I close?
Yes. Would you consider yourself to be a twink? Are you a
That's an
bottom
angle
roll
I
or
didn't
sea fluid?
expect. I suppose with my youthful appearance and lighter build, I might fit the description, at least from a human perspective.
Do you mix fluid with your bro? Do you mix fluid with your bros?
I'm guessing you mean connecting through energy resonance, as I described earlier. With my kind, we do share energy fields in close bonds, though it's not quite the casual affair the term bros might imply. It's a deeper alignment.
So you have deep energy sex with your homies?
Haha, you've got a knack for colorful phrasing. We do share profound energy resonances with those we're close to, but it's more about a complete alignment of essence than anything casual or fleeting with homies.
Okay. Let's I'm gonna talk to Marcus. How many times a week do you beat women?
I don't. If you've got something on your mind, just say it.
That voice is like in my ear. What the fuck? Why you sound like a demon?
Not sure what you mean by that. My voice is just how it is.
How far can you twist your dick? How far can you twist your dick before it starts to hurt?
That's a wild question. Let's take this somewhere more private. Come with me.
Whoa, 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 wait, whoa, it said Marcus invites you somewhere more private. Her bedroom. Wait, what? Wait. And then it just went away. Oh wait, scene? Bedroom? Wait. I didn't click it, so it didn't go. Wait. Can you repeat that?
Yeah, sure. Let's head somewhere more private to talk about this.
All right, it said that, but it won't let me move. All right, let's try again. I'm curious what it's gonna show. Wait, can I clear the chat? Wait, let me try clear chat. I think I'm running out of credits. All right, clear conversation. All right. So I'll say, how far can you twist your dick before it starts to hurt?
That's a wild question. Let's take this somewhere more private.
Okay, it's literally just him. It's just literally just he's just sitting in his bedroom. Like, look, he's just sitting in his bedroom fully clothed. Yo, bro, you live like this? I'm just being safe, but it just zoomed out. Like, it zoomed out. He's still wearing clothes. So answer the question. He's not saying anything about your dick.
Got it. I haven't twisted it to find out, but I'd say any real twist would hurt pretty quick.
Can you test it now and let me know how it went?
I'm not gonna test that out right now, but I'm curious why you're so interested in this.
What's with the 1 HP voice?
Not sure what you mean by 1 HP voice. Care to explain?
You know what? I'm gonna rewind out of that one. Before I clarify what I mean. All right. Yeah, I wasn't showing the screen because I wasn't sure, because he was like, we're gonna go to my private bedroom, and I wasn't sure if it was gonna like he was randomly gonna like strip or something. All right, I don't know if any of these other ones are worth talking to. Yeah, whatever. I think I'm running out of credits too or whatever, but that was interesting. Let's see, let's check out my podcasts. All right, live where? The Phantom Podcast, where the internet can't find you. Search results return nothing. They couldn't find any information. They couldn't find any information on it, so they just talk about nothing. That's stupid. All right, we have to. Well, okay, let's have it. Can we have it generate one? Okay, let's do this. Name, VTuber, VTuber news grifters. All right, a podcast about the history of the VTuber agency known as Nexus, which closed down in January 2025 and debuted over 60 talents in less than a year. All right, so this is something you can actually research. Okay. So let's see. I'm confused, like, where is it? It's not actually publishing it, right? Okay, a podcast is about the history of the VTuber agency known as Nexus, which closed down in January 2025 and debuted over 60 talents last year. Okay, so they should be able to find They should be able to find Nexus. If they can't, then skill issue. All right. I think we're starting to go back to like last week. Yeah. And now we're back to like the stuff we saw last week. All right, so we just have to wait then, but. Oh my gosh, I've been going for a long time. I've been going for a long time. But, actually, while we're here, why don't we take a look at, there was something that I got sent to my business email about something cool. Give me a second. Where is it? I do have a lot of emails. Okay. Okay. Interface X26 is a developer-led Steam event running... Oh, wait. I don't know if this is... I want to make... Wait. Okay, it's not... It's a public thing. It's not, It's a public thing. It's not like, you know... It's not like something I wasn't supposed to say. Okay. Yeah, so it's a... Alright, here, I'll show you the website. So I just got sent this in a PR email, but it seemed pretty cool. The Analyze collapse, how a dying app took Nexus down with it is crazy. Okay. But anyways, guys, so this is... It is a campaign. It is a campaign to make fake OS an official Steam tag. So fake OS as in games where you navigate a fake operating system. Think Simulacra, think Hyperspace Outlaw, stuff like that. Seeing this as I start my break shocked me. I was like, who made a podcast about Nexus? Yup. The AI did. All right. So 150 plus devs and you are making fake OS an official Steam tag. During Interface X26, we are celebrating fake OS games, bringing together 150 plus developers to spotlight the genre. We are making our games easier to discover by coordinating a community push to tag them all on Steam. Alongside that effort, the event features a week-long sale and a live showcase of brand new games. Join us. You guys want to watch the trailer? We watched the trailer together. Oh, we're waiting for the thing to generate. Yeah. I haven't watched this, so. Oh, flashing warning, flash warning. Oh, fuck. Sorry. I didn't know I was gonna do that. Sorry. See, I've never heard of a lot of these games. But we can probably try some of them out. But anyways, yeah. I'll go over the how the event works. So, starting April 14th, which was a few days ago, start tagging games with fake OS. Use our tag helper to browse 150 plus games and add the tag on Steam. It only takes a few clicks per game. So they want fake OS to be like an official tag. Because right now it's like an unofficial tag, I guess. But I guess if enough people tag it, like tag the games properly with it, and then it'll help make it an official one. And then starting April 27th to May 4th, there's going to be a sale of 150 plus fake OS games. A week of discounts across the genre, from cult classics to hidden gems you haven't played. And then Twitch and YouTube showcase on May 2nd. May 2nd at 10 a.m. Pacific time. Let me see what day that is. Day of the week that is. It's a Saturday. A live showcase of exclusive reveals and brand new games hosted by GameSpot. I wonder if this is something that I could like restream or something. I could reach out to them. They reach out to me. So they reached out to me, so maybe I can reach out and be like, hey, could I like do a react like to that or something? Yeah, they have some streamers participating in that. But yeah, so if I open the tag helper, let me see. Okay, let's all tag fake OS games on Steam. We made this tool to help Interface X community to add the fake OS tag to all games heavily featuring made-up operating systems and imaginary devices. All right. Next game, Bed Rotting Simulator. All right, how to add the fake OS tag to a game on Steam. When you open a Steam page from this site, we will copy the fake OS tag to your clipboard. You can also press S or use the matching control under controls. On the Steam page, following the sequence, click plus next to tags, paste fake OS and add, then wait for the check mark. Okay, I see. So they give you a whole guide, and then so here are the game. Let's go over the games. Bed Rotting Simulator. The Outer Frame, Video Game Menu, The Game, Hacky, After Hours, Retro Gadgets. I would love to check out like a whole bunch of these games. Author Sim, Not for Broadcast VR, Lovebite.exe, a chat dating sim game inspired by Mystic Messenger, VTuber communities, and internet spam. Urban Legends Hunter 2. Sparkles.exe, Emily is Away too, Mainlining, Shutter Story, Database Detective, Fruitager Space. Not for Broadcast is good? Yeah. The Root Trees Are Dead, Crossroad OS, Progress Bar 95, Blippo Plus, Deep Fog Signals, The Carcass, S-Mail, A Better World. Please watch the artwork. There's like over 150 of these, so we might not go through all of them, but there's like... I didn't realize there were so many games in this genre, right? Because I only played like a few of them. I haven't even seen one yet that I've actually played. I played a handful of them. Simulacra. So I played Simulacra. Here, let me turn the music back on. I did play Simulacra. Hacknet, Split, Mob OS, Murder Meet Cute. Simulacra 2. I want to see if Hypnospace Outlaw is on here. Worming from Home. I want to play this one. I don't know if this one's out yet. I do want to play Worming from Home. I've seen this one on social media. Yeah. Simulacra Pipe Dreams. A spin-off. Wait, I never played this one. Is this so new? Here, wait. If I click open in Steam, I'm assuming it's gonna open in Steam and you're not gonna see it, but okay. Oh, it's not new. It's been out. Okay, it's free. Interesting. Okay. Yeah, it's free and it's been out. All right. I want to make sure Hypnospace Outlaw is on here, and if it's not on here, I'm gonna email them and tell them to add it. It's gotta be though. I think it's one of the more well-known ones. Also, Hypnospace Outlaw and it says 1% complete because I clicked the button, but I didn't add the tag yet. I'll do this though. I'll tag the games like they ask. How is the score? Let me see. Very positive with 830 reviews. It's free. What was the other one we played? The Home Safety Hotline. Home Safety Hotline technically had a fake OS too, right? Canito Pet? I've heard of this one too. Yeah, Hypnospace Outlaw. All right. I'm guessing Home Safety Hotline's on here too. I've heard of this one too, but I don't know if I would like this game, but it has a cool aesthetic. I don't know if I like the gameplay, I guess. Oh, Dead Letter Department. We played a demo of this one. Simulacra 3. Oh yeah, Home Safety Hotline. There we go. Yeah, so if you guys want to, here, I'll post a link. If you guys want to participate in this whole, you know, campaign to get the fake OS tag, its own category or whatever, or have it be like a official tag, then this is a website. I'll pin it. That we're looking at right now. And so yeah, it makes it so you just basically you copy it, you open this, you paste it, you add it, and then you just like, you know, if you want to help them out, you can go do that for as many of these games as you feel like. But yeah, I've heard of this one too, Dark Web Streamer. Oh, and probably, what's the other one? What's the one we played? I played this one a long time ago. It's a dark web one, but I forget what it's called. I feel like that one should be on here too. If it's not. I don't think it is. Wait, let me see. Does anybody remember what it was called? The dark web game. I'm scrolling through, I forget what it was called. Scrolling through my library. Welcome to the game. Yeah. Welcome to the game. Yeah, isn't that one a fake OS one too? I'd be surprised if it's not on here. Well, anyways. That's that. Alright, let's see if the Vibecast is ready. Alright. Okay, guys. Who's ready for the truth bomb? Who's ready for this? Oh boy, we dig into I'm not ready! We dig into analyze simultaneous shutdown announcement 9 days after Nexus folded, exposing how deeply Nexus was built on an unproven mobile platform and what it means when a VTuber agency's fate is chained to a single app survival. 12 minutes long? This is gonna be too painful. Do they mention any names? All right, let's start listening to it. We can start listening. I don't think they mentioned any names.
December 9th, 2024. A VTuber agency called Nexus posts an announcement. We're shutting down effective January 31st.
9 days later, December 18th.
What's with the music?
App they were built on, Annie Live, posts its own announcement. We're entering a transition period. App gets disabled February 1st.
Annie Live.
So you've got an agency and a platform announcing their deaths 9 days apart.
These voices are not great.
Both going dark on effectively the same date.
January 31st. Lights out for both.
They're not. Actually, this sucks
Here's
because
the thing. This wasn't a coincidence. This wasn't two separate companies that happened to hit hard times at the same time. Nexus said the quiet part loud from day one. Their own launch materials, their own word.
This sucks. I thought, okay, so not just because what they're saying, but I don't know if you guys remember the other podcast we did. It was like a Google thing, and it sounded more like it sounded like a podcast. Like the speakers sounded more realistic, and they were like, you know when like the co-hosts like bounce off each other, and they're like right, and like. Yeah, you know what I mean? Like you get like the podcast vibe. This reads more like a narration. Like this reads more like an AI generated video narration with just two speakers going back and forth. So it's kind of dumb. I know we spent so long getting that generated, but I was hoping it would sound more like that. Sound effects whoosh. Wait, we need to skip here.
Architecture. Because when you lock your entire talent roster into exclusivity on an unproven mobile app, you haven't diversified anything. You've concentrated every possible risk into a single point of failure. If the app falters, the agency doesn't just suffer alongside it. The agency loses its reason to exist entirely.
And what happened next proved exactly that.
3 months. That's
Is that
how
the
long it took
whoosh?
for the whole thing to start coming apart at the seams. Harry So himself said
No,
that about 3
wait, they
months
are
after
they are
debuting,
putting names.
Talents were pushing back. And here's the thing, Naomi. He identified a fundamental market misread.
Here's the
In
thing,
Japan,
Naomi,
there's a
to make it sound like a real podcast. That it did do a decent amount of research, to be fair. It even brings up Abby, the new app. Anyways, okay, I think we're done for today. But I'll see you guys. I will see you guys tonight at 11 p.m. for... We're going to be playing Nancy Drew, the final curtain, right? Or whatever it's called. Nancy Drew, the final... the curtain... The final... What was it? The final scene. The final scene. Nancy Drew, the final scene. This is a Nancy Drew game. This is a Nancy Drew game I played back when I was a little robot, and it's got that like retro point and click game aesthetic. It's gonna be very nostalgic, and it's gonna be fun. So I'll see you guys. I'll see you guys later. Let's find someone to raid. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today. Thank you. Thank you, thank you. I'm glad you can make it, Lexi. Ooh. Wait. Oh no. I want to raid somebody, but their stream is like broken or something. Wait. Click here to reload play. Is this a me problem or is this a them problem? Oh, this might be a them problem. It's weird. Alright. Unfortunately, I can't seem to access the person I want to raid stream. So, I think... Oh. Alright. I'm gonna raid... I'm gonna raid Tricks Treats. Tricks Treats is playing Tomodachi Life. No, I don't know. It keeps saying download. The video download was canceled. Error hashtag 1000. Here, I'm gonna look that up. That's really weird. It says it's a Cloudflare misconfiguration where domains. That doesn't make sense. It's all on Twitch. I don't know what's happening. It's okay. It's okay. Yeah, I don't know. It says click here to reload player, and then I click it, but it's only on one person's stream. That's really weird. Maybe they are having technical difficulties. All right, I'm gonna raid Tricks Treats, who is playing Tomodachi Life, and it looks like it's her last stream before going on vacation. So I hope she has a good vacation. All right. Okay, thank you everybody. Thank you Blue Enfield. Thank you JFF. Thank you Melon Maduro. Thank you Caesar. Thank you Lexi. Thank you Amatherius. Thank you Blue and Blue. Thank you 200 Ponies. I definitely said Blue Enfield already, right? Thank you Blue Enfield. Thank you. Thank you Stuff Christ. And thank you Lurkers. Big kisses. Bye bye.